A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef. No other beef so fresh can be so tender. Presents Heart and Harmony transcribed. Say, take it easy, Mother. Don't fret and worry about what to serve as a special surprise dinner for the family. Just relax, 'cause here's the answer. It's Kroger Quality Beef. Man, oh man, talk about tastiness. Why, there's a world of delicious eating enjoyment packed into tender Kroger Quality Beef. Yes, sirree, it's tender, it's tasty, it's delicious. So there's just no doubt that Kroger Quality Beef will make your dinner a real banquet. A meal that's bound to have the folks at your house smiling and sighing in pleased satisfaction. You see, Kroger Quality Beef is carefully selected from the very best beef that's available on the market today. It's tender, it's tasty, and brimming with flavorful juices. And say, keep this in mind, too. Kroger Quality Beef is economically priced. That's right. It's a thrifty buy as well as a tasty buy. So visit your Kroger store and get delicious Kroger Quality Beef. And remember, Kroger Quality Beef is available only at your Kroger store. And it's the very best beef you can buy today. Get Kroger Quality Beef at your Kroger store soon. And now, Hearts in Harmony. Penny is in New York on an errand for her employer, wealthy Carrie Carlton. She just had a meeting with a man known only as Mr. King. Johnny Keith and Freddie Lang, who lost Penny's trail when they followed her, wait on a street corner much nearer to Penny than they think.
How much longer do you think we ought to hang around this corner, Mr. Keith?
I don't know, Freddie.
I've been watching that house and looking up and down this street until I'm about to twist my head off. I ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, we could be completely fooled, you know.
How?
Well, maybe Penny never did go into that house down there, or maybe she never even came to this street.
Well, her cab driver said he brought her here, and we did find that pin of Gibbsy.
Well, I'm beginning to be convinced that's all a plan to get us off the track.
Maybe yes, maybe no. I still got a hunch that Gibbsy's around here somewhere.
Yeah, but where?
You have to ask that. Hey, look, there's a push cart over there. Want an apple?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Here, I'll pay for it.
Oh, never mind. Nah, this one's on me. When we go uptown to a restaurant, you can pay me back then. Hey, now, a couple apples, huh?
Get us a couple, Freddie. I'm hungry.
Oh, you're not letting me get off easy, huh?
Well, not if I have to even things up by buying dinner tonight.
Well, you sure do. And I'm going to have the most expensive thing on the menu.
You would.
I will. Well, here's the apples. Don't eat them both at once.
I won't. Hey, this looks good. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's bad at all. You know, maybe we can use more than just two apiece of these things. I didn't know I was this hungry.
Well, look, let's not let our appetites run away with us. We're still looking for Penny, you know.
I got an idea we're going to find her, too. We wait around here long enough.
No, I'm not going to wait much longer, Freddie. If she doesn't show up soon, I'm going to call a policeman and search that house again.
What for? You and me searched that joint from top to bottom before. Inside and out. Backwards, forwards, and sideways. What do we find? Nothing.
Well, something but Penny's pin.
Which means that she went into that house, and then she went out of it again before we caught up with her. You know, I'm beginning to figure this thing this way.
What way?
Well, now somebody gave Gibbsy the wrong address, see?
Mm-hmm.
They told her 11 River Street. Or maybe it should have been something else, like maybe 111 River Street.
Well, if there is such a place.
Well, I was just thinking maybe we ought to walk down River Street and find out. You know, there's a lot more houses around the bend down there.
Maybe we should try it, Freddie. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but let's still keep our eyes on 11 River Street as long as we can. It's still the only house
Mr. Keith, look at that.
Where?
Over there, coming down the avenue. It's Gibbsy.
What? Yes, it is Penny.
Penny! Penny!
Hello, Johnny.
Hi, Gibbsy.
Hello, Fred.
Look, Penny.
Now, look, don't start asking me questions, because I won't answer them. I have some questions of my own to ask you.
Oh, is that the right way to treat us when we've been waiting for you almost an hour?
Freddie, you have no business waiting for me. You have no business being here.
Penny, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. Why shouldn't I be?
Where you been?
Freddie, I said I wasn't answering any questions.
Penny, were you in that house at number 11? We found your pin there.
Look, you're not supposed to ask questions either, you know.
All right. Then you don't get your pin back.
Oh, yes, I do. Come on, now, give it to me.
Not until you answer a few questions.
Well, there'll be very few.
Well, one of them had better be, were you in that house at 11 River Street?
Yes.
Oh, but not while we were there, huh?
No, I wasn't. You know, you almost got me in trouble by following me into that house. I begged you both not to follow me. Why did you have to do it?
Because we don't think you should do what you're doing alone.
Johnny, I have to do it alone. I told you that a dozen times. About time you found out that I meant it, too.
Gypsy, you sound sore.
Freddie, I'm not angry, but I should be. When we get back to Rossville, I'm going to give you both a good talking to.
When are we going back?
As soon as we can get plane reservations. There's supposed to be a plane out late this afternoon that gets us to Rossville at midnight.
All right, we'll all go back together then.
I bet we will, because I don't trust leaving you two here. Not when you can come so close to finding out my business is spoiling it.
Come in.
Good evening, Mrs. Carlton.
Come in, Penny, come in. I can't wait to talk to you.
Oh, you don't mind because I phoned you so late at night.
Mind? Did I sound as if I did when you phoned me? And I told you to come right up, didn't I?
Yes, I'm glad you did, too. I'm very anxious to tell you what happened.
Well, sit down and tell me all about it from the beginning.
Well, the beginning's a little breathtaking. I got a cab at the airlines terminal and started for the address I've been given. A few blocks later, the cab driver noticed that another taxi was following us.
Oh, good heavens. But you weren't really being followed, were
Yes,
you?
I was. The taxi driver made several sudden turns down side streets, and the cab behind us did the same thing.
But how did you manage to get to the address with people following you?
Well, we finally made a turn the other cab couldn't make. It had a slight accident, but the people weren't hurt.
Are you sure?
Yes. It was Johnny Keith and Freddie Lang who were in that taxi.
Oh, dear. You were afraid they'd follow you, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. And they did, right to the address.
But how? I thought you got away from them.
I did, but unfortunately, their taxi driver knew my taxi driver, and they got in contact with him and found out where he'd taken me.
Oh, I see. But you got your business attended to before they caught up with you?
No. No, in fact, my business was delayed because they were following so closely behind me. You see, I went into this particular house. You don't want to know the address, do you?
Definitely not.
Well, I went into the house, and it was a strange place. At first, I thought I'd been tricked and given the wrong information because the house was completely empty. Obviously, it hadn't been lived in for years.
But Mr. King was waiting for you there.
No, he wasn't. No one was there at first. And then a man appeared in the doorway and asked what I wanted. I told him I was there to see Mr. King, so he took me into the basement and through a door in the wall. Oh, the door was brick. You really couldn't tell it was there when it was closed. It looked just like part of the solid brick wall.
These people go to fantastic precautions to hide themselves, don't they?
Yeah. If I hadn't been so frightened, I think I might have laughed a little. The door in the wall opened just the way it does in those horror movies, but at the time it didn't seem very funny.
It doesn't seem funny to me now.
No, I suppose it isn't. Anyway, the men I saw were deadly serious, and it was obvious that they were carrying guns.
But then you were taken to see Mr. King?
No, when I went through the brick door, I was in another house, the one next door. It looked boarded up and deserted from the outside, but on the inside it was well furnished, brightly lighted. Anyway, I had to wait about 30 minutes before I saw Mr. King.
Well, why the delay?
Apparently, there's always a lookout in the first house I was in. And when Johnny and Freddie came into it, a signal was passed on to Mr. King, and he waited to see what Freddie and Johnny were going to do.
I see. He wanted to make sure they didn't find that door.
Yeah, I suppose so, but they didn't find it. Though I understand they came terribly close.
Well, I'm glad it was just close and that they didn't find it. I dread to think what might have happened to you and to them if they had found you. Was Mr. King upset about their following you?
Well, I don't know. He warned me not to let it happen again. And all the time we talked together, he had men watching Johnny and Freddie while they stood on a street corner nearby.
But he did talk to you then?
Yes, he did. And I have good news for you. He does have what we want.
Do you think he's telling the truth?
Yes, I do think so.
Oh, I can hardly believe it. I can hardly believe that this thing will be over before long.
Well, anyway, the next move is ours, I guess. I think all we have to do is give him the money.
And you're sure he'll keep his part of the bargain?
He assured me he would. He doesn't want anything from us but the money.
Oh, I shouldn't think he would. Did he ask you where you could get so much money?
No, he didn't question me about the money at all. Matter of fact, it seems his only interest is in getting it no matter where it comes from.
Good. And what about the amount? Is he going to demand a fortune?
Well, I guess this will surprise you. It is going to cost a great deal of money, but not so much that you find it difficult to pay. In fact, he even hinted that if I couldn't meet his demand, we might compromise.
He told you that?
Those are almost his own words.
I had no idea it would be this easy.
Well, what he said and what he'll do may be two different things, but I have an idea that if I offer him a substantial sum of money, he'll take it. And that'll be that.
Oh, Penny, I could cry.
No, don't do that, Mrs. Carlton.
But I've waited for this time so long. Hoped against hope for so many months. Wondered what to do and how to do it. Looked and looked for someone to help me. And now you've done it. You've done what I thought would be impossible to do.
Well, I haven't done anything yet but talk to him.
But you found a man to talk to, and you've made him say he'll do business with us. I'll be grateful to you for the rest of my days.
You better not thank me till everything's over. The best thing for all of us to do is just forget about it when it is
I'll
over.
never forget. I'll never forget any of this. Or you. You've done so much for me. You've given me hope again and a promise of happiness. I wish there was something besides money I could give you in return. For you deserve happiness far more than I. And believe me, money has never brought happiness to anybody.
Mrs. Carlton, you don't have to give me anything. You've given me so much already. Friendship. You know, I value your friendship a great deal, and I hope we'll always know each other.
You think when this is over, I'll let you go?
Well, you won't have any more use for me.
But I will. I want you to stay on with me, work with me, help me, and I'll help you. And when I die, my dear, a great deal of what is now mine, I want to be yours.
Mrs. Carlton, I couldn't allow that.
But you must, and you will. You can do a great deal of good with what I'll leave you. Far more than what I have done with it in my long and useless life.
You've done a great deal of good in your life.
A lot of good. Given parties. Gone on ocean cruises. Toured the world. Maintained expensive homes and cars. Surrounded myself with leeches of all description.
No, I know of other things you've done with your money.
But I did it only to satisfy myself that I was not wasting it all. What I leave to you and insist that you accept will be the first thing I've ever done in gratitude and sincerity. But maybe there's a reason for that.
Well, I don't know what you mean.
I mean, my dear, that you are the first person in the world to whom I could legitimately be grateful.
Mrs. Carlton, please.
And promise me something, my dear. When I have moved on and you are rich, if you have to make a choice between riches and contentment, hang on to your happiness and let your money go.
So Penny Gibbs is going to be a wealthy woman someday. And what is going to happen when Penny again sees the strange Mr. King in New York? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. Ladies, it's really no problem at all to serve your family a top-notch, sure-to-please dinner. Why, it's as simple as adding 2 and 2. Just visit your Kroger store, step up to the counter, and get Kroger quality beef. The beef you can buy with confidence because it's the very best beef currently available. What a wonderful thrill for your family when you serve them a dinner featuring a tender, juicy steak or crusty brown roast beef. What a comfort to you to know that your dinner is not only nutritious and wholesome, but just the kind of dinner your folks were hoping for. Yes, you can be sure of delighting everybody when you serve Kroger quality beef, for it's carefully selected from the best grades of beef on the market today. So don't delay. Visit your neighborhood Kroger store for the finest beef values in town. But please keep this in mind. The only place in town that you can get deliciously tender and juicy Kroger quality beef is at your neighborhood Kroger store. And remember, too, Kroger quality beef, the very best beef that you can get right now, is priced for real thrift. So get some soon at your neighborhood Kroger store. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same station, for another thrilling transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.
Now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC. Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, Project Mastodon by Clifford D. Simak.
Mr. Secretary, may I present Mr. Hudson of,
Mastodonia.
Mastodonia. Mr. Hudson, this is the Secretary of State.
Honored, sir.
Now, as Chief of Protocol for the Department, I've informed
All
you...
right, Mr. Kingston. I haven't much time. I'm due at a meeting of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee at 2. If you pass Mr. Hudson in, I'll assume everything is quite proper. Now then, Mr. Hudson, I understand you've been here several times seeking recognition for your, country.
Well, that's right. I had a hard time making your staff believe I was in earnest.
And are you, Mr. Hudson?
Oh, very much so.
You are an American, Mr. Hudson. I assume you are acting as a representative for Mastodonia rather than as a principal in the matter.
Oh, no. I claim dual citizenship, sir. I am a Macedonian.
You pardon me, but I've never heard of your country.
Well, it's a new nation, but quite legitimate. We have a constitution, a democratic form of government, duly elected officials, and a code of laws. We are a free, peace-loving people, and we are possessed of a vast amount of natural resources. And...
Please tell me, Mr. Hudson, just where are you located? I gathered it was somewhere in Asia.
Oh, no. Technically, you are our nearest neighbors.
That's ridiculous. Now, look here, Hudson, you can't...
If you'll give me just a moment, Mr. Secretary, I have considerable evidence.
I'll have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Hudson. You've submitted a document signed by a certain Wesley Adams.
Well, he's our first president. You see, we'd like to establish diplomatic relations. After all, we are a sister republic. We'd like to negotiate a trade agreement, and, of course, we'd be grateful for assistance under the foreign aid program.
Naturally. Who wouldn't?
Mr. Secretary.
All right, Kingston.
We're prepared to offer something in return for, one thing. Sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
I understand that in the present state of international tensions, a foolproof sanctuary is not something to be sneezed at.
All right, Kingston, I think we've had enough. Show Mr. Hudson out.
All right, let's have the story again.
Look, mister, I don't want any trouble.
Just tell the story again. You want to cooperate with the FBI, don't you?
Sure I do. Sure, but I just don't want any trouble.
All right, start over. You found the briefcase in the booth.
Yeah, that's right. I brought my beer over from the bar, you know? And this fella just went out a minute before, so I figured he must have left it. I run after him.
You didn't see him, though?
No. So I just kind of looked in the briefcase. You know, I mean to identify it. That's all. I don't steal.
Then you came to us.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, after all, when I saw that stuff, well, I just figured I was way over my head, you know?
All right. Don't say anything about this, do you understand? We'd rather you just forgot the whole thing.
Oh, sure. Listen, some things I don't want to remember. You know?
Hello? Is this Dr. Harrison of the Paleontology Department? This is Mr. Jenkins at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We have some movie film we'd like you to look over. Huh? Oh, we acquired it. Big shaggy elephants and tigers with teeth down to their neck. No, it's not fakes. Our labs are sure of that. Whatever is on those films is real. No, we don't know. That's why we called you. We haven't the slightest idea where those pictures were shot. We can't even guess. What's the matter, Coop?
One of those flying hypodermics. This is a fine, healthy spot. Mosquitoes as big as hummingbirds.
Oh, careful, son. You're knocking the climate of the capital city of Macedonia.
Yeah, some capital city. One palm tree and a Boy Scout pup tent. Wes, this is the wildest thing we ever did. What if Chuck can't get back?
Chuck Hudson is a man of many parts. Have faith.
Supposing they're putting him in jail, or something might happen to the time unit or the helicopter. We should have gone along.
Do you think they'll do it, Coop?
Who? Why?
The United States. Do you think they'll recognize us?
Not if they know that Macedonia is the United States 50,000 years ago.
Oh. Well, we have to get legal recognition first, otherwise it wouldn't be safe. Well, there goes that Mastodon again. Good old Buster.
Where is he?
Right there. Over by the grove, see? Ah, he's lonely.
What?
He probably is. He must have been run out of the herd by some younger bull. That's why he hangs around like some homeless dog.
One thing worries me, Wes. I know you dreamed up the time unit, and we all chipped in for the helicopter, but can you just claim territory on your own like we did?
Why not? We found it, it's ours.
Hey, Buster's coming this way. Give me the right.
No, wait. Maybe he's only bluffing.
If that Mastodon comes through here, he'll stop everything flat. I'll give him 3 steps more.
Oh, it'd be such a shame to plaster him. He's such a nice old monster.
One more step and he gets it.
Hey, that's Chuck. He's back.
I wish he could fly that helicopter better. He might wreck it.
Well, anyway, he scared Buster off.
Poke those fires up, Wes.
No, they're high enough, Coop.
You don't want a saber-tooth waltzing through here, do you?
Well, we better get a stockade up. You know, some night a herd of Mastodon will come busting in here, and if they ever hit the helicopter, we'll be dead ducks. We'd never get back. We'd be stuck back here in the Pleistocene age. I won't feel safe till we get another helicopter.
Those Mastodons carry a lot of ivory. And the mammoths up north.
Oh, sure. And get socked in the jug for smuggling ivory. The only way to cash in on the time unit is to get diplomatic recognition for Macedonia.
We've got a good case. You said so yourself.
Oh, a saber-tooth?
Down by the grove.
I don't like that. Sounds closer. Hey, poke up that fire, will you, Coop?
Oh, well, that's Buster.
There he is. He's tangling with a saber-tooth.
I'll lay 3 to 5 on Buster.
Cat's drawing blood. I'll take $5 of it.
Come on, Buster. Roll on him, will you?
Cat's on his head now. Hey,
he's coming this way.
Look out!
Wes, turn and shoot.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
The tiger's gone. He won't get far.
Neither will we.
Oh, no.
Yeah, good old Buster. Trust him to drop dead right across the helicopter.
Well, we can fix it, can't we?
We probably won't even be able to roll Buster off of it. The rotor blades are twisted and the frame is a mess. A total mess, gentlemen. We are in trouble. Macedonia faces a crisis.
Herb, you're the key man in the administration. You swing a big stick on the hill. You can't give up on Project Mastodon now.
Les, it's been 10 years. If they were coming back, they'd be here by now.
Look, I've been working on this ever since we got those films. I traced their lives from the time they were born till the time they disappeared. Adams was the brains. The other 2 were quite capable of helping him carry it out. Hudson knew all the angles.
Les, I've sneaked your appropriation through 4 times. Now, there's a limit.
But I've got the proof. We've had every paleontologist in the country go over those films. They couldn't be faked. Who would know to put lynx tassels on the ears of saber-toothed tigers? Who would know that young mastodons were black? And the location. We tracked down Adams' farm just from landmarks in the prehistoric landscape in those films. We've got to contact them.
Look, Les, even assuming it's all true, a planet has only a grand total of resources. If we get Adam's device...
Time machine.
If we exploit resources of prehistoric America, won't we be robbing ourselves of our own heritage?
Look, Herb, I've been over all that with the AEC. There's a lot of lead in southwestern Wisconsin. If we go back far enough, we can catch it when it's uranium.
The whole research project hasn't turned up a lead on Adam's machine, if it exists.
We've got to keep watching that farm. They might return. We've got to keep looking for them, no matter how long it takes.
Listen, Wes, we can't stay around here much longer. Old Buster's getting a little too strong.
Yeah, well, I'll have the time unit clear the helicopter in a few minutes. Then we'll just have to move camp upwind.
Look at him. Only 2 days since he dropped dead. Bless his heart. Already those vultures are half into him.
I'll have him picked clean inside of a week.
Give me the hex wrench, will you?
Wes, is it all right? The time unit?
Well, we won't know until we try it, Coop. And then, of course, it's too late.
Well, either does or doesn't. Problem is, how are we going to use it without the copter?
Couldn't we take a chance on using it on the ground?
No, we have to get up in the air. You want to take a chance of arriving in the 20th century about 6 feet underground.
Wait a minute, Wes. It's got to be higher here than in the 20th century. Look, these hills have stood here since the Jurassic era. They got to be weathered down.
Yeah, I know. The only safe way is to build a platform about 12 feet high. That should be enough to clear us.
But suppose we come out on the other end 2 feet higher.
Well, we fall. Which would you rather do? Take a chance on a broken leg or stay here?
Okay. Now, what do we build the platform out of?
There you are, Wes.
All right. I got it. Chuck, comes the next stone.
Now, wait a minute.
Hey, look out. You want the whole pile to come down?
I'm sorry. Okay, Wes, hand it up.
Yep.
Give it.
That's about 12 feet, isn't it?
Well, it ought to be. It took us 10 days to pile it up. Look out, I'm coming down.
All right, don't start an avalanche.
Well, pretty soon we'll be able to start all over again.
Mm-hmm. If the unit works.
Yeah, that isn't all. We don't have any proof we've been back here. We'll be stone broke. Another helicopter would cost $30,000. Can't walk into a bank and borrow $30,000 to take a short trip to the Stone Age.
Wes, where do you figure we are? I mean on the farm.
Well, I think we're clear of the barn and the silo.
I hope so.
The way I figured, we're astraddle that barbed wire fence at the south end of the orchard.
Well, we might as well give it a try.
All right, I'll get the unit. You two climb up on top of the pyramid. You ready?
Think it'll work, Wes?
I don't know, Coop. Got pretty well banged up when Buster hit the copter. I haven't got the equipment to check the waveforms. All right, stand around close. Bend your knees a little. Might be quite rough.
Go ahead. Push the button.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Nothing.
Doesn't work. Well, that's that. We're stuck.
I'm sorry, Les.
There's nothing you can do, Herb. You've been out of government for 5 years.
If there's anything I can do, the board of directors instructed me to offer you...
No, thank you.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, now that you're retired.
I bought a farm.
Oh?
In Wisconsin.
You haven't given up, have you?
I'm the only one. They closed Project Mastodon down 3 years ago, and they've been hinting ever since that I'd be happier retired. Old Bowers, he's the crackpot from Project Mastodon.
I'm sorry, Les, but it has been 20 years.
Yes, it has. But think of it. From a military point of view, hidden bases in enemy territory itself, centuries removed in time, yet only seconds away. If we had bases like that and shelters...
Relax, Les. It's all over.
Sure. It's all over.
Missed.
You should be more careful. We've only been stuck a month now. Someday we'll run out of ammo, and then it's bows and arrows.
It's cold. There'll be snow soon.
Coop, I'm worried about Wes. He takes it pretty hard.
As long as he's tinkering on that time unit, he's happy.
Oh, he isn't going to repair the unit. He hasn't got a chance. Back in the workshop with the tools, maybe.
Well, anyway, the hunting's great.
Well, maybe we better start saving bullets for big game. We won't be lords of creation around here long without our guns.
Yeah, and if one of us gets sick or breaks a leg, well, nobody lives forever.
Wes is the lucky one. He's got that time unit to tinker with. Come on. We better get back to camp.
Hey, Wes! Come on. Wes! Wes! There's no sign of him. Wait, there's a note on the door. Wes! Never mind, listen. Dear guys, I don't want to get your hopes up again and have you disappointed, but I think I may have found the trouble. I'm going to try it out. If it works, I'll be back to get you. Wes.
What, a fool?
That unit can't work. He must be off his rocker.
Wait a minute. Coop, look, that pyramid. It took us 10 days to pile those stones up.
It's gone. The pyramid of rocks. It's gone.
Oh, what the... Of all the confounded... Oh, what's going on out there? Rocks? Who dumped those rocks? My car, who's out there?
It's all right.
Don't you move, mister. I got a 45 pointed at you.
Well, I can explain.
Well, you better. There was a brand new car where you dumped that load of rocks. Who the devil are you?
My name is Wesley Adams.
Adams? Man, where have you been all these years?
Well, I don't suppose you'll believe me, but the fact is...
I've been waiting for you for 25 years. The others all gave up.
I'm sorry about your car.
Oh, never mind. I'll be right down. Now, don't touch a thing. Don't go anywhere.
Can't be 25 years. It's only been a few months in Macedonian time.
25 years. Man, it's been a long wait.
The unit must have been badly calibrated. You see, it isn't accurate for more than 50,000 years at a jump if the setting is moved.
Well, we'd better call Washington. I imagine you'll want the same terms as before.
Terms?
Recognition, economic aid from Macedonia, defense pact. Now, listen, Adams, you've got those saps over a barrel. You can get anything you want now.
The unit. I'll have to calibrate to the day to go back for them.
Oh, don't worry about it. You can have every scientist in the country working on it now. Oh, you've got them right where you want them. Hello? Long distance. This is Major General Leslie Bowers, retired. I want to put a call to the President of the United States, White House, Washington. You can tell them I'm placing the call for the President of the Republic of Macedonia.
Come on, Og, son of fire. Put another log on. It's cold.
It's good cold storage for the furs. Boy, when Wes gets back, we'll be millionaires. Furs, ginseng root, ivory.
If he gets back. It's been 5 years.
He'll come back. I feel it in my bones.
Well, he better find it before we get too old to enjoy anything. Unfortunately, there's no Social Security in Mastodon.
Don't you worry. Wes is working on it right now. I can feel it.
Hello, Charlie. Some just came through on a ticker. I want you to get a background story on it. And we just recognized Mastodon. What? How should I know where it is? Look it up in the encyclopedia. Huh? No, the item says formal recognition was delayed 5 years until communication could be established. Certain technical difficulties. What? I don't know. Wherever it is, I don't see what difficulties could hold up 5 years. It stands to reason wherever the place is, you could walk there in 5 years. Nah, it's not important. You know these postage stamp countries. Monaco, Luxembourg, they're all alike. What's so different about Mastodon?
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features the Theodore Sturgeon novelette, The Skills of Xanadu. When a malignant world endangers another, surgery is the usual answer. But perhaps there's another solution, to kill it with kindness. Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Project Mastodon, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Clifford D. Simak and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Floyd Mack, Dick Hamilton, Charles Penman, Raymond Edward Johnson, Frank Maxwell, Robert Hastings, John Larkin, and Joseph Julian. Your announcer is Jerry Damon. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Listen next week for the Murray Leinster story, If You Was a Moklin, a tale in which the childlike natives of a strange planet pull a real switch on a red-headed female witch, and everyone doubles in brass. That's next week on X-1.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X-1.
Tonight, the Murray Leinster story, If You Was a Moklin.
Up to the last minute, I can't imagine that Moklin is going to be the first planet that humans get off of. Moving fast, breathing hard, and sweating copious. There isn't any reason for it. Everything was all quiet at the trading post. I was sitting on the front porch while D, he's the Moklin clerk. Looks a lot like a guy named Casey, used to be a wiper on the Palmyra. He comes out on the porch.
Frankly?
Morning, Dave. How's business?
Not so good. There were a few wood Moklins in this morning.
Yeah, I saw. Kind of nice looking. Those big saucer eyes. What makes the noses wiggle like rabbits?
I don't know, sir. I'm not a woods Moklin.
Oh, sure. No offense. They buy much?
No, they didn't. They said the prices were too high.
Oh.
Yeah, they said they can get the same goods at the other trading post for half price.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to run a nice little monopoly for the company with another trading post opening up at half price.
What is it?
Look at that little kid playing in the mud.
You mean the Moklin kid? It's my cousin's niece.
I can't get over those little kids with the droopy mustaches like old man Bland. I gotta laugh every time.
Well, I understand. But you see, Moklins are getting much more human every day.
Hey, look at that. There go the trees on the landing field.
Yeah, but the relief ship isn't due for a month.
I never knew those trees to get up and walk away if there wasn't a ship due in. Yeah, there goes old Sally pulling up her roots. Well, this can't be any routine ship. I wish Brooks was back from the hills. Hey, Captain Haney! Over here!
All right, come on, let go of my hand. Yeah, nice to see you all again. Friends, yeah, sure. Friends. I wish those Moklins were a little less friendly each time. It's like being a movie star.
Captain Haney?
Hey, what's that? We didn't send no requisition for anything like that. Red hair and everything else.
Captain?
Relax, Brinkley. That is Inspector Caldwell. She's a troubleshooter for Sam Company.
They must have finally read those reports Brooks keeps sending that.
Look out for her. She's... Oh, good morning, Miss Caldwell.
Inspector Caldwell, please.
This is Joe Brinkley. He's the assistant manager of the company post.
Where's Brooks?
He's up in the mountains, ma'am.
Well, he should have been here. I'm on Moklin to check into this matter of a competitive trading post. Who's back of it? The company is supposed to have exclusive trading rights.
Brooks is trying to find out. The Moklins around the place always say the humans are off somewhere hunting or something. We've never seen them. Hey, take the lady's luggage.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure.
Oh, he looks a little familiar, your clerk.
He's a Moklin. But he looks a lot like a man used to be a wiper on a Palmyra, Casey. I think he's on the Aldebaran run now.
Please conduct me to the trading post.
That afternoon, Brooks come down out of the hills with a bunch of woods Moklins that were guiding him. I took Inspector Caldwell over to meet him, and he gets one look at her red hair and other equipment, and he stops short.
Hey, what's this? She Moklin?
I beg your pardon?
This is Inspector Caldwell. She come in on a Palmyra today. This is Brooks, the head trader.
Well, am I glad to see you. I guess they finally read my reports in sector headquarters. You've come to check my request that the planet be abandoned?
Not at all. Moklin has great potentialities. Friendly natives. Trade should continue and increase.
I explained.
All I'm interested in is why you allowed a competitive post to be established in our exclusive territory.
My reports cover that. Haven't you read them?
Of course not. I was given a briefing on the situation here and told to correct it. Well, now, let's get to it. Do they cut prices?
50%.
But lots of Moklins still trade with us, just out of friendship. They're real friendly, these Moklins.
Now, I'd like to know just...
Excuse me, Mr. Brinkley.
What is it, Dave?
A girl just brought you a compliment.
Oh? Well, now send her in and get a present for her.
Yes, sir.
50%. Well, if they want a trade war, we'll give it to them. We can cut prices if we have to. We have all the resources of the company behind us.
My dear Miss Caldwell, if you'd read any of my...
Inspector Caldwell.
Yes, she is, Mr. Brinkley.
Compliments, sir. Compliments.
Wow. Let's see him.
He's asleep.
Well, look at that. Ears like mine. The same bastion nose and everything. What do you know? Gitsy. Hey, what's your name?
Morano.
I can't remember ever seeing you before. Well, that's the way it goes. Hey, take her in the post and give her a present.
This way.
Thanks for the compliment. I'm greatly honored. It's real cute, ain't it? Real human.
Human? Brinkley, you are going to be transferred out of here the instant the Palmyra gets back.
Why? You mean that girl? I'm giving her a present. What's the matter?
That's all you think about it? The callousness. You're revolting.
Miss Caldwell, I'm afraid maybe you don't exactly understand about parallel evolution here on Moklin.
I gather it's been parallel enough. That will be all on that subject, if you please. In the morning, I shall want to go and inspect that other trading post.
We set out for the trading post the next day. Brooks stayed behind on account of he was peeved that she hadn't read his report. Anyway, she was cute as the bug, and he resented anyone with a figure like that in authority over him, especially without reading his report. I tried to explain to Miss Caldwell that we just couldn't go in and rip up the opposition post.
Why not? They're poaching.
Moklins imitate humans. Now, if we start trouble, they'll start it too. Anything. Mayhem, murder, theft, bigamy.
Bigamy? You're worried about that?
Listen, Miss Caldwell, you've got to understand about Moklin evolution.
I'm not interested.
Here, wait a minute. Now, this is a nest bush, see? There's about a dozen nests on it. Now, only about 2 of them are right. Look.
Oh, there's a bird.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, see, the bush grows nests for the cacklebird, and the bird, well, fertilizes around the bush. It's even Steven. See, that's the way evolution works on Moklin, like we were trying to tell you.
Mr. Brinkley, I am not interested in learning about the birds and the bees on Moklin or any other planet from you. Now, let's get on to that trading post.
Naturally, when we got there was only a couple of Moklins hanging around. They told us the same story about the humans having gone off somewhere hunting donderflies. When we got back to the company post, Inspector Caldwell, furious as a wet cacklebird, marched right into Brooks.
I have just ordered a price cut on all items on sale by 75%. I've also ordered unlimited credit for Moklin customers. They want a trade war over there? I'll give it to them.
But you don't understand. There's a whole planet where they could have put another trading post without being discovered. Why put it so close to us?
That furnishes them with a ready-made market for human trade goods. And it furnished them with Moklins trained to be interpreters and clerks. And it furnished them with a Moklin head clerk, who is a very handsome young man, Mr. Brooks. He not only resembles you in every feature, but he even has a good many of your mannerisms. You should be very proud. Goodbye.
That's funny. Like me, huh?
That's right. Spitting image.
Funny as folks never brought him for a compliment present. How good's the likeness?
If he was wearing your clothes, I'd swear it was you.
Maybe. Joe, remember that time you went off hunting with Deeth and his folks?
Yeah, sure. We were after donderflies. We caught about 6 of them.
You were wearing Moklin clothes, weren't you?
Well, you know how they are. You're insulted if you don't.
Listen, did you come back after one day for tobacco and a bath?
No. No, we were way over at Dunlip Hill. Some Moklin got killed and we had to bury him. It took 2 days.
Well, during that week, while you were off wearing Moklin clothes, somebody came back here wearing your clothes. He got some tobacco and went out again. He looked just like you, Joe. Exactly. Nobody suspected it wasn't you.
Why should he want to do that?
He might have been checking to see if he could fool me.
Oh, that's a situation, ain't it?
I haven't mentioned it before, but I've been guessing it's something like this. Moklins like to be human, and they have kids that look human. Look at the difference between Deeth and a woods Moklin. Well, maybe they can want to be smart like humans. And pretty soon they are, or their kids are. That rival trading post.
You figure there aren't any humans running it.
They're practicing with that.
You mean they might figure to get rid of us and have a couple of Moklins take our place? I don't believe that. Moklins like humans. They wouldn't harm humans for anything. They like to be just like them.
Listen, Joe. Miss Caldwell is the first human woman on Moklin, isn't she?
Yeah. Why?
She's got red hair. The first woman the Moklins see, and with red hair. You know how Moklins admire humans. With luck, it ought to turn up soon. Boy, she's going to take it hard if it does. Women hate to be wrong. But it's about our only chance. Listen, Joe, we've got to have some check between us.
What for?
Well, if there's a Moklin that looks like me and one that looks like you, we better have a signal. Look, I'll cough twice, like this. And you whistle back. That way we'll know it's us.
Okay.
Try it. Good, good. That way we'll know we're us.
Brooks starts off the next morning to visit the other trading post and see the Moklin that looks so much like him. Before he goes, we do our little routine. It's about 2 weeks till the Palmyra is due back. That's pretty close figuring, waiting for what we're waiting for. I was thinking how good life was on Moklin up to now, and that made me kind of a little sad. But it's the end, there's no doubt about it. Moklin sure admire humans. They produce kids that look like them. You can't help liking Moklins. But I can see what Brooks means. Moklin's loose among humans, outsmarting them as their kids grow up, just about taking over in the galaxy. When they come back from the other trading post, we went through the secret business again. In the meantime, Inspector Caldwell was busy with her trade war. She cut prices once, twice, finally 6 times, until 3 days before the Palmyra is due back, our goods are marked at exactly 1% of what they cost a month before. Brooks was getting more and more nervous. Seemed like he was falling kind of in love with a snappy little inspector. He was getting jumpy, waiting for her to get her big surprise. She was making out merchandise requisitions one morning when Deep come in, smiling friendly at her.
Inspector Caldwell?
Oh, what is it, Deep?
There's a compliment for you.
What?
3 of them.
What is he talking about?
Joe, this is it. Deep, show him in.
Now, look, I haven't got time for public relations. These inventories...
Here we are.
Inspector Caldwell, 3 compliments.
Compliment.
Now, let's see him.
Very pretty. Very human, no?
Oh, no. No, that's impossible. No.
Very pretty. Red hair, all 3 of them. Red hair.
Very pretty red hair. Same as human lady. Very pretty.
All right, Deep. Take her out and give her some presents.
This way. Come on.
But that's impossible. Those babies, 3 of them, they couldn't.
They do. They look exactly like you. That's what we were trying to tell you.
I've only been here a month.
Moklin babies get born real fast. They sure admire humans. It's kind of friendly when you think about it.
You mean they can make their babies look like anybody they want?
It was all in my reports. They've got a queer sort of evolution here on Moklin. Babies here inherit desired characteristics, not acquired characteristics, desired ones. And what could be more desirable than you? Red hair and all.
Oh, but I thought, you and Brinkley... Oh.
You couldn't help it, dear, really.
But I hated you. I thought that...
Now, look, darling. Joe.
Yeah?
Do me a favor, will you?
Sure, what?
Get out of here.
Oh. Okay.
And stay away for a while.
Sure. Only one thing.
What?
That's... Okay. Then I'll leave you 2 together. About 2 days later, the Palmyra boomed down out of the sky. We were all packed up waiting on the field when the trees finished getting out of the way. I kept thinking, no matter what, Moklin sure are friendly. They sure do admire humans. I could see them crew members with Liberty heading off from the field with a whole gang of laughing, singing Moklins following each one of them. After a while, Cap Haney came over on a freight truck.
It's a pleasure, I tell you, to see these Moklins. I just came here from Welch's planet. The natives there are suspicious, unfriendly, and if you're not watching, they'll steal your gold teeth. But Moklin...
Captain Haney, don't give orders to unload your cargo.
What do you mean?
We are abandoning the post.
What?
We are leaving Moklin completely.
Sam Company pulling out when there's still a mill credit to be made? I don't believe it.
I have authority to order the move, and Mr. Brooks has convinced me of the necessity for it.
Now, Inspector, I know the company doesn't like to give in to competition.
There isn't any competition.
Well, I thought...
Miss Caldwell's right. That other trading post is purely a Moklin enterprise. They bought our goods from us and pretended to sell them at half price, and we got our prices, so they bought more goods from us and went on. Some Moklin must have thought it'd be nice to be a smart businessman, so his kids would be smart businessmen. Too smart. We'll close up this post before the Moklins think of something else.
What? What do they think of?
If they got loose from this planet, if they can pass as humans, their kids could take over human civilization. How would you like that?
Oh, I see, yeah.
You'd better make ready to blast off, Captain.
Yeah, but I got the B section off on shore Liberty. Men are scattered all over the place.
With Moklins?
Sure, with Moklins. You know how it is. Regular party. Fancy Moklin clothes, food, liquor.
Captain, you'd better sound the emergency recall.
Yeah, I see what you mean right away. Well, that accounts for all but about 5 of them.
They're coming across the field now.
Keep that line straight for the hatch. We got to count off.
4, 5. Yeah, they're all in line.
I'll check against the roster.
Wait a minute. There's another one coming. Look. By that tree.
Well, there can't be. I got 38 men lined up already. 38, that's a full count.
That's a human.
He's wearing Moklin clothes.
It looks like Pete Werber from the engine crew.
Hey, wait. Wait for me. Wait.
Yeah, but it can't be. Werber's already checked in. There he is, in line.
Wait for me.
Hey, where'd you come from?
I couldn't find my clothes. You see, I was in these Moklin clothes when the signal went off. I was trying to find my clothes.
Werber, look over there in the line.
Where? Hey, that's my clothes. That guy. He looks just like me. Now, what's the idea?
Hey, you. Come over here.
Yes, sir.
What's the idea?
All right, you caught me. I'm a Moklin.
He stole my clothes.
Why did you do it?
Oh, we Moklins like humans so much, I thought it would be nice to make a trip to Earth and see more humans.
How come he looks like me?
My parents planned it 5 years ago when you came here first. They made me look like this wonderful human and hid me till now.
You give me back my clothes.
Well, of course. I wouldn't want to make any difficulties for humans.
He took it as a joke on him. He talked English as good as anybody. It was hard to tell which was the Moklin and which the human guy. So we let him keep the human uniform, and he was very grateful. We took off after that, and the Moklin stood around and laughed and waved and threw flowers as we closed the hatches. Pretty soon the Palmyra was pushing up through the atmosphere. And just before the auxiliary circuits went on during the jump to overdrive, we all stood around in the astrogator's dome with the screen turned up to high mag and watched as Moklin faded into a round cantaloupe behind us.
It's a shame. Sure was a pretty planet. Real friendly.
Too friendly. I still have the shivers, thinking we almost took a Moklin off with us.
The other crew had been on Moklin long enough to have a double. 5 years is a safety margin. Takes them that long to grow up.
We were lucky, huh, Joe?
Huh? What?
I said we were lucky.
Yeah. We sure are. I guess I was the only one who felt a little different from the others about leaving Moklin. I mean, Moklin's are swell folks, and it seemed a shame. There'll be an order out that no human ship is allowed to land on Moklin. But I was thinking, I'll save my money, and those compliments, those 3 little kids that look just like Inspector Caldwell, in about 5 years they'll be grown. And I'll buy me a little private ship and shove off for Moklin again. And I'll pick me one of those 3 red-headed gals and marry her Moklin style and bring her out to a human colony planet. I'll have kids with brains, top-level brains. That's easy. If she wants it, that's the way the kids will be born. I'll have to bring other Moklins out, too, and start them passing for humans. My kids are going to need other Moklins to marry, aren't they? It's not that I don't like humans. I do. If the fellow I look like, Joe Brinkley, hadn't gotten killed accidental on that hunting trip, I never would have thought of taking his place and being Joe Brinkley. That's what I was thinking when Brooks suddenly got an idea.
Wait a minute. Joe, you and I were on Moklin more than 5 years.
Yeah? So?
One thing. And everything's all right.
I mean, you can't blame me for wanting to live among humans, can you? Wouldn't you, if you was a Moklin?
You
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features another fascinating For Your Information column written by Willie Lay. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you If You Was a Moklin, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Murray Leinster and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Joseph Julian, Patricia Wheel, Carl Weber, Ralph Camargo, Helen Gerald, Stan Early, John Marley, and Dick Janiver. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Next week, listen to Project Trojan, an original story by Ernest Kenoy on X-1. Follow the news with Chet Huntley tonight on NBC Radio.
While waiting for darkness to cover the magic island of Euclidia, Jerry and Joan have gone on a tour of the island, leaving Captain Bradford and Mrs. Gregory on the captive yacht. Mrs. Gregory's daughter, Joan, who has spent nearly all of her 15 years on the island, has undertaken to show Jerry the submarine locks on the 5th level below the surface of the artificial island. They descend to the proper level in the magnetic elevator, but the door fails to open. Jerry and Joan are now badly frightened as they hear the rushing of water outside the elevator shaft. They've been there for some time, and the air in the elevator car is getting very bad.
Jerry, I can hardly breathe. What are we going to do?
Must be some way to get air into this thing. These Euclideans are too smart not to figure on accidents in these elevators.
You're right, Jerry. There's an oxygen tank. Small valve in the ceiling. I forgot.
Just like a girl. Where is it?
Feel around on the ceiling. Up there in the dark.
Yeah. No. Can't reach it. Not tall enough.
Then we're going to suffocate. Jerry, I can hardly breathe.
Wait a minute. I'll stand in the corner. Oh, the corner here. It's round. Maybe I can brace myself, yeah. Now, I'll make a cradle of my hands. Feel around me, can't you?
Yes, Jerry. I will. There, I feel your face.
Well, you can't stand on my face. Run your hands down my arms. Feel how I've got my hands fixed?
Yes, Jerry.
Then put your foot in my hands. Get your hands behind my head. Lift yourself up. Then take one hand loose. Feel around on the ceiling. If you grab a valve, turn it on.
I will try. Oh, there now. Hold me, Jerry.
Quit pulling my hair. I'll hold you. Hurry up. My chest hurts.
I think I have it, Jerry.
Then turn it on.
Oh, Jerry. I can feel it. The oxygen. Oh, it feels so good. It almost hurts.
Then get down. You must be breathing it all in up there. Jump down.
Yes, Jerry.
Oh, boy. That's good stuff. Whee. I'm going to carry a tank of that stuff with me after this. Whenever we go out sightseeing on this crazy island.
I've never known anything just like this to happen. One of the submarine locks must have broken and let the ocean flood in.
Plenty of pressure at 6 fathoms, too. Can they pump it out?
Oh, yes. The chambers are all made so they may be flooded deliberately, then pumped out.
What's that for?
In case of escape, the local prism reflectors in the control chambers will locate the escapers. Then the switches are thrown to close the automatic doors around the section they're trying to escape through. And the water turned on.
Golly whiskers. These guys are plenty mean, aren't they?
Yes, Jerry. No one can imagine the awful things on Euclidia.
Well, when we get rescued, Captain Bradford and your mother will know how to use all these slick inventions to do a lot of good back in our world.
Listen. The water has nearly stopped running around this elevator shaft.
I can't hear anything but a buzzing in my ears. It feels kind of funny and dizzy.
Oh, I forgot. The oxygen. We must turn it off again, Jerry. Too much is not good for her.
Okay. Get up on my hands again.
Yes, Jerry, I will.
Hey! You stuck your finger in my eye.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so am I. I'll be glad when the lights come on in this thing. Now, up you go. Can you reach it?
Yes, I can feel it.
And shut it off.
That is done. My head feels queer, too.
Boy, you sure hit the floor hard. Hurt you?
No, but I'm... Listen.
Yeah, you can hear the pumps working. Sound like they're working mostly on air. The water must be all gone.
Then we shall soon be out of here.
Oh, boy. Here comes the light.
Yes, we can see now. Oh, this is much nicer.
I'll say it is. They sure built these elevators right anyway. Not a drop of water got in. Can we start this thing?
Not yet. When you hear the permanent magnets, release the car, and the portative magnets take hold, then we may safely actuate the control button.
Yeah, you're feeling better, all right. I can tell by the big words. When you were scared in the dark, you talked pretty near human. But now that everything's okay, you got to spout large language.
Now, Jerry, do not make fun of me. I was so...
Hey, Joan. Jiminy Crickets, Joan. Cut that out.
I cannot help it. I have never cried before. It feels so good.
Oh. Well, if that ain't just like a girl, it feels so good to cry. I'll bet you have a swell time at funerals. Oh, turn off the water. Golly whiskers, here. Take my handkerchief and wipe your eyes. And for the love of Pete, quit bawling.
Thank you, Jerry.
Water outside the elevator, water inside the elevator. You women are all alike. You're mighty smart and brave till things get rough. Then we men have to step in and help you.
You're wonderful, Jerry.
I know it.
There go the magnets, Jerry.
I can hear them.
We'll soon be able to start the car.
Won't be any too soon for me.
There now. The pumps have stopped.
And the magnets have stopped clicking. Can we go now?
Yes. The door should open automatically, just as it would have when the car reached this level if the water had not flooded the chamber outside.
Well, if it ain't opening very fast, what can we do to hurry it?
Nothing. If it does not open automatically, someone is keeping it closed. That can be done from the control chambers.
Oh, what would they want to do that for?
Some important experiment must have failed, and G47 does not want anyone to see what happened.
G47's afraid to let anybody know he can make a mistake, huh?
I think that is it. We of Euclidia are allowed to see only perfect things. The scientists would have us think they never make a mistake.
Well, if we can't land here, let's go up to one of the other levels and look around there. Nothing's ever going to scare me after drowning like we did.
Oh, we did not drown, Jerry.
We thought we were going to, same thing. I'm going to push this button for the first level. If anything else goes wrong, I want to be near the top. Here it goes.
Oh, the car is actually ascending. Oh, I'm so happy.
Now cut that out. Don't you go blubbering again. There's the fourth level. We're up this far anyhow.
And we're going up smoothly now, Jerry. We will soon be out in the open air again.
Not until we look around on this first level, we won't. Hey, that's funny. The car didn't stop at the third level like it did at the others.
That means the third level is sealed off. Some secret work is going on there.
Same thing on the second level. You sure don't get to see much when you go on a sightseeing tour of this island.
Just be patient, Jerry. Before we leave the island, you will have seen nearly all of it. If we ever leave it.
There goes the first level. Guess we don't see anything.
Oh, I'm glad, Jerry. I want to get back to my mother's yacht and see Mother and the captain. I've been on this island nearly all my life, Jerry. I do not like it.
I guess you're right, Joan. This place hasn't been any fun for you. What's going on now?
Now this car has picked up the top of the elevator shaft housing. We're raising it above the ceiling of the island with us.
Well, if that door doesn't open automatically for us when we get all the way up, I'm going to find some way to break out of this car.
Now we're at the top. The door will open now.
Well, it better. Hey, listen. What's that noise?
Oh, that is rain, Jerry. It rains very hard here in Euclidia.
Oh, it's a wonder old G47 hasn't figured out a way to stop the rain. He's figured everything else.
Now, Jerry, the door is opening.
Yeah. Boy, and look at it rain. About as wet up here as it was down there. Well, come on, get ready to run for it.
Run where?
Oh, to the Gregory yacht, of course. Where do you think? Boy, that rain's wet. Do we have to shut the door?
No, the door closes automatically. See, it is closing.
Come on, Joan. Hang on to my hand. We're going to get plenty wet, so don't take time to show me anything. And don't stop running till we get to the yacht. That was some sprint. You're all right, Joan? Watch out now. The deck of this yacht is going to be slippery.
I'm so wet, Jerry.
Watch your step now. Now you run into your mother's cabin and get into some dry clothes.
Yes.
I'll go to the captain's cabin. Go on, scoot.
I'll hurry, Jerry.
Talk about rain. I'd better get inside myself. Sorry to bust in without knocking, Captain, but it's... Hey, Tex. Oh, nobody home, huh? Oh, guess he's in the radio cabin where Mrs. Gregory's. Yeah?
Jerry, may I come in?
Yeah, come in.
Oh, Jerry.
Why didn't you change your clothes like I told you to?
Well, my mother is not in her cabin, Jerry, and I have no extra clothing of my own.
Oh, well, then I guess I'll have to give you some of mine. See, here's a good heavy sweater and a pair of pants. They'll keep you dry anyway.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. I'll go to my mother's cabin and put them...
Wait a minute. Something funny here.
Where, Jerry?
On this boat, I mean. Even if Mrs. Gregory and Tex were in the radio room, they'd hear us running and yelling around here, and they'd be worried about why we were gone so long. I wonder where they are.
Do you think something has happened to them?
Gosh, I'm afraid so. Come on. We'll try to find them.
Darkness has fallen on the Magic Island. Once more, the weird yellow glow of artificial daylight covers the scientific isle of Euclidia in the South Pacific Ocean. Joan Gregory and Jerry Hall returned hours ago to the captive Gregory yacht after a terrifying experience in one of the magnetic elevators, only to find Captain Tex Bradford and Mrs. Gregory are missing from the yacht. A note handed to Jerry by the skipper tells them that Mrs. Gregory and Tex are on a secret mission and to make no move until their return. All is silent on the island, while in the radio cabin of the yacht, Jerry and Joan listen to music from the radio and try to keep themselves cheered up as they wait anxiously for Mrs. Gregory and the captain.
I wish they would hurry, Jerry. I'm so worried.
Oh, cheer up, Joan. Tex can take care of your mother and himself, too.
I know Captain Bradford's a wonderful man, Jerry, and Mother thinks he can accomplish anything. But none of you realize fully the dangers on this horrible island.
Well, it won't help him any for us to run around yelling for him. Just sit still like this note said and listen to the music. Well, it's a good thing old G47 didn't stop our incoming radio beam anyway.
I like this music, Jerry. It's coming from one of your Hollywood radio stations, is it not?
Yeah. And those guys are real hillbillies, too.
What does it mean, this hillbilly? Are they all men from the hills? All with the name William?
Now, look, there's so many things you don't know that I don't know where to start teaching you. Do you like the music, or don't you?
Oh, yes, Jerry. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Well, then sit still and listen to it.
Stop it, Jerry. Stop that music.
Okay. There you are now. I'll hold it there, and you go ahead and talk while I listen to it.
No, stop it. Stop it, please, Jerry.
Okay. Hold everything.
Oh, I'm sorry to be so much trouble to you, Jerry, but I'm so nervous. And you also are nervous, Jerry.
Oh, nothing of the kind. I'm just as steady as a rock.
Then why are you chewing that lead pencil up?
Never mind me. You just sit still and quit worrying. It'll be along in a minute. I'd better leave this radio open on Johnson's wavelength, I guess.
Jerry, do you know all about my mother and Captain Bradford? I mean about all the mysterious things they do all over the world, and how they can have ships belonging to many countries helping them. So many things. Do you know about that, Jerry?
No, and Mrs. Gregory made me promise I wouldn't ask her any more about it. But we'll find out someday. Hey, now where are you going?
I was just going to look out over the island and see it.
No, you're not. Get away from that door. Now, what did I tell you? Didn't it say in the note for us to act just as if your mother and the captain were here on the yacht with us?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry, but I get so worried.
So do I. But you'll get over there. Get over there and sit down. Go on, I said. Sit down.
Why, Jerry, you're wonderful when you speak like that. So commanding and masterful.
Oh, all us men are like that. We don't expect much from you women. And, of course, I'm 16 and you're only 15. Makes a lot of difference.
Oh, I'm sure it does, Jerry.
I wish they'd hurry, though. That yellow light is all over the island. And if they haven't got any of those strict glasses, they might get lost.
I think they would not be allowed to have the glasses. But they should be able to find their way back to the glare of the yacht lights.
Hey, quiet. Listen.
Why, what is it?
Shh, quiet, I said. Listen.
Someone's coming along the deck.
Sit still. We don't want to act too anxious.
Oh, Mother.
John, my dear.
Boy, am I glad to see you folks.
Sorry to leave you kids like that, but we had to get something done quick.
And Tex thought that if you didn't know anything about it, you wouldn't be subject to any danger over the idea.
Oh, Jerry and I had a terrible experience in one of the magnetic elevators.
Yeah, and Joan acted just like a girl. Started right in to cry.
Well, Jerry, you can't expect us women to be as brave as you men.
No, I guess I shouldn't. Well, Tex, did you get some plan of escape figured out?
I hope so. Pat and I took a long chance getting this thing. Is the cabin all tight?
Jerry and I have inspected the opaque cloth covering since the rain. The cabin is quite safe, Captain.
Good girl, Joan. Well, here's what we've got.
What's that? Looks like a pocket fire extinguisher.
That is one of the small oxygen tanks these scientists have in clips in nearly every room on the island.
I have never been allowed to touch one of those, Captain. Did G47 give it to you?
Not exactly.
Gee, you swiped it.
I'm afraid we did, Jerry. I don't approve of taking anyone else's property, but this means our chance to escape from the island, possibly our lives. So we took it.
But when the loss is discovered, G47 will be very angry.
That's why we've got to work fast. I knew they couldn't see me carrying this thing. I had it inside this coat of opaque cloth, but they'll soon discover it's gone.
I'll help you, Tex. What do you want to do?
Tell you in a minute, kid. First, I want to get Joan and Pat started on my celluloid diving suit. You three wait here while I go to my cabin and get it. I'll spring the lock on this door. Don't open for anyone but me.
You look so excited, Mother. Has the captain a good plan?
Yes, dear. Tex has a very fine plan. Not for our immediate escape, but for getting a message to Johnson so that he may arrange our rescue.
I know what it is. He's going to use that celluloid diving suit with this little oxygen tank inside of it to get through the ring of gas in the fog.
Yes, Jerry. The captain is going to try to swim out through that fog ring tonight. And he's going to put one of those homing pigeons inside the suit with him. Then he'll release it when he's safely outside the ring.
That is wonderful, Mother. And it may work if there's nothing metallic on the captain's clothing.
Yeah. Say, that oxygen tank might set off the alarm.
That's taken care of. While you and Joan were gone, I helped the captain cement a lining of the opaque cloth into his celluloid diving suit and his swimming suit. The magnetism won't affect anything inside that cloth.
I think, Mother, that you and Captain Bradford are almost as clever as G47 and his scientists.
What do you mean, almost? Tex has got those Euclideans beat.
Okay, Jerry.
I'll let him in.
Now, we'll have to work fast. I put my swimming suit under this robe, so it won't take long to get ready.
Good.
Jerry, go up in front and get the other pigeon. Hide him under your coat as you did before, and take your time.
Okay, Tex. I'll be careful not to be seen.
Now, Pat, if you and Joan will help me get into this thing.
What a peculiar garment, Captain.
It's airtight and opaque. That's all we need.
J12C to J24Y. Johnson to Bradford. Message for you.
Quiet for this.
Have had no word for you for hours. Transmission conditions perfect here in Los Angeles. Cannot understand why storm north of you should prevent reception by stations east of you. Latest report picked up from oil tanker at 24 degrees south. Says electrical disturbances south of them. Can you hear me, J24Y? If no answer, we'll repeat every quarter hour. That is all. Johnson.
Then there's no hope for the pigeon to reach him. He's gone back to Los Angeles.
Don't worry, Joan. That was all in code. Johnson is really standing by at latitude 24 south right now.
Yes, dear. And when he said he'd received a message from an oil tanker, it meant he had contacted an oil tanker and was refueled. So now he's ready for anything necessary to help us.
You have some clever and loyal friends, Mother. Will you tell me someday
yes,
just
Joan.
how...
Someday I'll tell you all about Tex and myself and how we're able to do so many things. But now...
It's me.
I'll let him in.
I got him all right, and nobody saw me.
Good boy. Now I'll tie this message to his leg, and you can help Pat and Joan cement me up in this thing with the oxygen tank and the pigeon inside on my back. Then when I get well beyond the fog and gas rings, I'll rip the celluloid shirt off and turn the pigeon loose.
But how are you going to get back through the gas ring? You're going to ruin that suit taking the pigeon out of it.
That worries me, Jerry. Tex thinks he can hold his breath long enough to swim through the gas ring coming back. But I'm afraid. Oh, Tex, if anything should happen to you...
Oh, forget it, Pat. I'll make it. Now, the pigeon is ready. Open the tank so it barely releases the oxygen, Jerry. Joan, you help Pat cement this thing around my waist. Then you can slip the tank and the pigeon down my back and cement the helmet on.
That's about as little as I can let out of the tank, and be sure it'll be continuous, Tex.
Thanks, Jerry. Now, stick the tank down my back so it lays flat along the bulge where this thing is cemented to my swimming belt.
Coming up. Say, that's just going to fit in there.
Here's the pigeon, Tex. You're sure it won't get crushed?
No, there's plenty of space inside this stiff celluloid thing to give the pigeon room. Now, let him down in there easy now.
Little bird isn't a bit frightened, is it, Mother?
We've always been kind to it. It trusts us to continue being kind.
Here's your helmet, Tex.
Just a second. Now, last-minute instructions. I can't talk when that is on. Now, when you cement it all around my shoulders, you, Jerry, walk out on deck with me. Walk between me and the island. I'll have this robe of the island cloth over my head and shoulders. We'll both go to the engineer's quarters. You'll have to stay there till I get back.
But, Tex, how will we know if you get...
If I get into the water and start swimming out without being seen, it's all over but the shouting. So I'll have Jerry get the engineer to make 8 bells for you as soon as I disappear in the water. Okay, put it on.
Let's hold this edge here, Jerry. And you hold that down, Joan. Now hold it tight.
Yes, Mother.
Very tight and smooth while I put the cement around it. Little... There, now hurry now. The cement will dry as you walk the deck, and I'm afraid something will happen any minute. Goodbye, dear, and good luck.
Bye, dear.
All clear, Mrs. Gregory. Throw that robe over his head.
All right, wait a minute. There.
I'll take his arm. Now, we're all set. See you later.
Oh, Mother, it's so wonderful of the captain to think of that.
Yes, dear. And it's so brave of him to attempt it. Oh, I hope we've fixed everything all right.
It seemed all right. And the oxygen tank will last a long time at the rate it was discharging.
I wonder how long it will take him. He said the engineer would make 8 bells for us when he's safely in the water.
It's only a few seconds until 8 o'clock now, Mother. so no one will notice anything out of the ordinary in the bells.
Yes, Tex figured on that, or he wouldn't have used it for a signal.
Isn't it about time now, Mother?
It shouldn't be long. The engineer was expecting him. Had the hatch open. He could get into the water noiselessly from there.
And if the pigeon gets away successfully, will it be sure of reaching Johnson's boat?
Easily, Joan. According to the position Johnson gave, he's only 5 degrees north of us, or about 345 miles.
Mother, the signal.
Yes, dear. Tex is gone. He's out in the water, swimming through that gas.
Oh, Tex.
Major trouble in dealing with an alien is that we're accustomed to certain little signs, symbols, facial expressions, tones of voice that have meaning when a human being is communicating with a human being. But we have no system of signs and no code of communication with the alien. How could we tell what the alien was thinking? You've heard a lot about the subliminal advertising recently. There's been quite a bit of discussion about subliminal messages. You know, we use subliminal messages all the time, but we don't quite recognize them. How do you know when someone's angry? You look at him. How do you know when someone's hurt? He doesn't say so, but there's some clue you get. Suppose you were trying to communicate with someone who couldn't speak, but did all their communicating by the subliminal signs. You'd never be able to say just how you knew what the feeling was.
Kathy, what? Get a couple of root beers out of the icebox and bring them out for me and Rob, will you?
Dishes got to be washed, Dad.
You've got nobody in there. Nobody coming. Get yourself a root beer and come out and join us. Starting to cool off out here now. You'd think a girl would like to come and sit with a good-looking fellow like Rob here.
Oh, come on out, Kathy. It's a real bright night outside here. You ought to see it.
When isn't it on the desert?
What, Kathy?
I'm coming. I'm through now. Here, let's open it yourself.
Got my opener right here in my watch chain. Give him here. You got one for yourself, Kathy?
Didn't want one. Move over.
Lots of shooting stars out tonight.
And here we sit, looking at them. I tell you, when I was your age, Rob, and if I'd have seen myself as I am now, sitting on the front steps of a little cafe and gas pump, 10 miles from nothing but a wide spot in the road, middle of the desert.
Oh, Two Springs, not just a wide spot, 1,500-something people.
That's counting all the ranches 40 miles in every direction, and one town clock and one town constable.
Two, Jimmy Herbert and me. And it's Marshal, not Constable.
You aren't but half a constable, Rob. A part-time traffic cop nights. And why aren't you back guarding the town if it's so valuable? Instead of sitting here with me.
That's all right. I gotta head back in a bit and check in at 11.
Look, there's a bright one.
What? Bright what?
That shooting star over there. See it? You'd think they was wonders of nature never seen before. Regular 4th of July light-up. I'd rather look at that many silver dollars any day. And if I'd had a decent break, I'd be looking at them, too. You kids get your wishes in before it fell? What'd you wish for, Rob? Don't need to ask what Kathy wished for. Kathy?
No, Dad.
I didn't say nothing bad. Don't every woman wish for good looks?
Dad.
Now, you knew I was kidding you. I wouldn't say... Look at that one. It's coming right at us. Where? What? Hey, look out!
It went down over there.
Get that car of yours. Plain nothing. Them meteors are worth money.
Wait for me.
Somebody's got to mind the gas pumps. You stay put. Let me. I'll carry it. Here. Into the house. In back.
Hey, it's one of those big rubber beach balls.
I'll put it on the sofa here. Good thing nobody's stopping for gas or a sandwich right now. Easy. There. Beach ball, did you say, girl? Look again.
That hole there. Like a mouth. It looks like it's breathing.
You're darn right it's breathing. We found it at the bottom of a little drop on the wash. Out there by a water boiler sort of thing. Acts like it's knocked out.
It's moving.
Grab it. Don't let it run away. Now go.
It talked. It said something.
I knew it. I really got something. Something at last. I got to get back to town and report this. Hold it. You crazy boy. You out of your head? Can't you see what I got here? We can get rich off this. We don't throw it away like dumb fools. Let me go, Harp. I got to report this. It's my duty. Why? Who else should think knows about it? There were lots of stars shooting around tonight, weren't there? Who was around but us to see it land? That noise it made coming down wasn't much, just a bump. Nobody'd know. No one else could. This is ours. They're bound to find out sooner or later it came down, and if I didn't report it... How they knew you heard it or saw it? I tell you, it didn't make much noise. Who's to guess? So you didn't find out about it for a couple of days. Don't you see, boy? That gives us time to figure out what to do, how to make the best of it. But listen to me. This could be the best thing that happened to us. Now, you get back to town. Go on, kid. But don't say a word. I'll keep it here. Come back tomorrow. Not early, but about the time of afternoon you always drop in. What do you do with it? Just keep it safe. Now get going. Well, all right.
Dad?
We're going to be rich, girl. We're going to be rich.
Nago doesn't seem to be very communicative. But maybe there's more communication there than appears. An alien. How alien? How dangerous? How helpful? What sort of reaction? This strange beach ball thing.
Dad, where'd you get that suit? What have you been up to all day?
Sit down, Kathy.
What do you mean, sit down? Somebody's got to watch the cash register all day. First you stay up all night with that whatever it is, and then you...
I've been at the bank.
The bank?
That's right. I've been talking to Jim Goshen. I made a business loan. We're going to make some changes and improvements in the place here.
Oh, now, Dad, you know Jim wouldn't loan the bank's money to us.
We've got a good spot here. It's a natural for people to stop at after that long haul over the desert, particularly at night. And the line of motels is a good idea, too. Besides, it'd be a boost for the town. People who stop here will go on to buy things in Two Springs.
Well, what made him see that all of a sudden?
I did, girl. I should have gone in and laid things on the line to him a long time ago. I don't know why. Before, things never seemed to go right, but now...
Well, I don't see why now should be any different.
It was finding that thing in the back bedroom there that did it. It was like a sign. I felt like a new man this morning. When I walked in on Jim Goshen, I was that sure. I was that sure he didn't have a chance. Shook me by the hand when we were all done and said, Harvey, I believe in you. Yes, he did. That's just what he did.
Dad.
What? What's the matter with you now?
Dad, I don't like it.
Don't like it? For the first time since you were born, since your mother died, we look like we've got a chance in the world, and you say you don't like it.
It's so sudden. Last night, and now this.
This is what I was born to be, born to do. I was always meant to make money, only I could never get started. Now I know how to go about it. Now, that's all there is to it. How's the thing? You look in on it?
No, I've been so busy out front.
Let's see, then. Close the door. We don't want it rolling out of here. It wants to get away back to the thing it came in. Now go.
Dad, what do you feed it?
What? Feed it? Why feed it?
Well, if you aren't going to let it go.
Now go. Feed it? Let it go? You sound like that Rob. Oh, no. I told him to stay away from here. Sit tight. Hang on to it. It'll make our fortune yet. Now go. Now go. Kathy?
Rob? Rob? What in the world? Just a minute. I've got to put on a robe. Rob, what are you doing rapping at my window in the middle of the night?
Kathy, I gotta come in.
In here?
I gotta get to see it, Kathy. Just see it for a minute or two. I'm coming in. Kathy, take me to it. It wants to see me. I can feel it.
Rob, are you drunk?
You don't understand, Kathy. It can do something for me. I know it can. Kathy, listen. Listen, you like me, don't you? Won't you do that for me? Just take me to it. I bet I know where it is. It's in that extra back bedroom you and your dad use as a storeroom, isn't it?
Rob, come back here. You want to wake up Dad?
Show me.
All right, but for heaven's sake, be quiet. This way. Give me your hand.
Oh, Kathy.
Stand still. I'll get the lights. Now look out. It's right under your feet.
Nago. There it is. Yes. Yes.
Rob, don't look like that.
Nago. Kathy, listen. Didn't you ever want to get away? To get out into the world and do things, big things, to be famous, really famous?
Oh, Rob, you come out of here.
No, wait. Kathy, I mean it. I can do it. We can do it. All we have to do is take this thing with us. When I've got it around, I feel I know how to do it. It doesn't take much money or brains. It's just being sure. And with it, I'm sure.
Kathy, what's all that noise?
Listen to me, Kathy.
Kathy, what's going on out there? What are you doing?
Nothing, Dad. Go back to sleep.
Kathy.
Nago.
Take it, Rob. What would you do with it?
I keep it with us. What else? Long as it'll last.
I'm going to find out what's going on there.
Here comes Dad. You better go talk to him, Rob.
Yeah, I'll handle him. You wait here. Keep an eye on it.
I'll keep an eye on it, all right.
Now listen to me. You listen to me. So.
And now for you.
Nago.
Now you'll try it on me, will you? Oh, yes, you know what I want. Of course you would. I can feel you making me feel the way a beautiful woman feels. But I'm not fooled like they were, those men. I know I'm plain. You hear me? I know it. You think I could live with myself all these 19 years and let you fool me in a minute? Well, go ahead. You can make me feel it, but you can't make me believe it. Never. Never. You see, I won. All right now, you aren't going to drive Dad or Rob crazy anymore. I'm going to take you out in the desert and lose you where they'll never find you. You come. Good thing you aren't too heavy. I know a fine hole in the side of a wash you'll never get out of.
Nago.
Don't nago me.
Nago's specialty seems to be what you might call a promissory note. She was promising things, apparently, but, a woman is peculiar in one respect. She's remarkably practical, as well as being idealistic. And the practical pragmatism doesn't yield too well to promissory notes.
Oh, here's a place that'll hold you. I'll just put you down here, open the hole a bit, lock you down with a stone. Well, aren't you going to try once more? Oh, come now. Aren't you going to try once more to make me feel lovely and wanted and pretty?
Nago.
What was it you wanted from them anyway? From Rob and my dad? What were you after anyway? You ought to be able to make some kind of an answer. Go ahead, you can't fool me anyway. I'm onto your trick of finding out what people want and making them feel they can have it. And maybe they could have. It seemed to work for Dad. But even if you're making me feel attractive would make other people think so, too, I still wouldn't buy a pig in a poke. You hear that?
No.
All right, I don't want to hurt you. Tell me what you were after, and I'll leave you here to save yourself or not. I don't care. What did you want from us? What?
No.
I think I can hear you. Somehow. What? Oh, I didn't understand. I didn't know. I didn't know. No, I'll get you to it. I'll get you to it in time. This way. Oh, I'll hurry.
Abby!
You won't find us. You won't get you up in time. Oh, please hold on. Just a little longer.
Abby! Abby, I'm coming! I'm following your tracks! You all right? Can you hear me, Abby?
I can see you now. Just a little farther.
Abby!
Here. In with you, quick. There. I'll leave him now. I'll keep him back. Here I am, Rob.
Kathy! Oh, Kathy, I thought something happened. I was crazy back there. I don't know what got into me. Kathy, I don't want what I said. All I want... Oh, you had me so scared when I found you gone.
Me? You were worried about me? Oh, Rob.
But, Kathy, that thing... I gotta find it, Kathy. Maybe it's dangerous. You don't know.
It's all right. You don't have to worry anymore. She's going home.
Kathy, you let it go? But you don't know what it tried. How could you trust it to go free? You don't understand.
There she goes. Wave to her, Rob. Wave to her with me. Of course I know. We were the ones who didn't understand. We forgot anyone could think of anybody but themselves. She's a mother, Rob. And of course she'd do anything, promise anything, to get back home to her child.
Start with a preconception. But how can you tell when you don't know the meaning of the clues? Is it a warrior? A scout seeking to bring in an invading crew? A scientist? Or perhaps a lost child? Or a mother who's missed a turn and trying to get home to baby? We start with a preconception, but preconceptions aren't always right. This time they weren't.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. Somewhere on lonely, moonlit Mesquite Canyon Road, a motorcade of 3 tank trucks loaded with oil from the wells of Tumbleweed Jones moves slowly in the direction of the Bear River Refinery. In the lead truck, Tumbleweed is at the wheel, confident that all is well, since with Clark Kent's help, the bullet holes shot into the tanks were repaired. And now, 6,000 gallons of crude oil will reach the refinery, despite the unscrupulous efforts of Abner Cheney, head of the local bank, to force Tumbleweed to use his pipeline. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Clark Kent is on his way to the cookhouse to get a sandwich for Jimmy when... But wait. Listen.
Let's see. The cookhouse should be over here to the right. Yes, that must be it. I hope Cookie doesn't mind my foraging in his icebox. Sometimes I wonder where Jimmy puts all the food he eats. Packed away a mighty solid dinner tonight. Well, all growing boys are like that, I guess. Here we are. Hope the door's open. Wait.
Yeah, that's right.
Voice inside.
You just get to it.
Sounds like someone's using the phone. Why isn't the light on?
Ain't got no time for clever lazy. Them trucks will be past the balancing rock in 5 minutes. Better get moving. Just make certain it looks like an exit. What's that?
It's Chuck Connors, Tumbleweed's foreman. What's he talking about?
You're right. And trucks will be flatter than a mess of flathead. He's out. Go on.
Who's there? Don't move, I got you covered. Put up your gun, Chuck. It's me, Clark Kent. Here, I'll switch on the light.
Oh, thought you and the boy had turned in.
What's your game, Chuck?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't stall if you know what's good for you. I heard you tell somebody something's going to happen to Tumbleweed's trucks in 5 minutes.
Your ears is too big for your health, mister.
We'll discuss that later. Now, are you going to tell me what's going to happen to those trucks and where, or must I drag it out of you?
You talk mighty big for a tenderfoot. Reckon I got to take care of you. Hoist up your hand.
Not on your light.
No. Let go of my arm. You're tearing it off.
Drop your gun or you'll never use this arm again. Drop it and start talking. Better?
Well, talk. We can't do nothing about it anyhow. Tumbleweed's trucks will be a heap of junk in 5 minutes.
Quit stalling.
Balancing rock.
Yes?
It's set to fall on the trucks with a dynamite charge you touched off.
What? What? I can't.
Yeah, you'll hear it. Nothing can stop her now.
Why, you... Can't stop to get more information from him now. Time is short even for Superman. I'll just fix him so he'll be here when I get back. Use the old Western trick of pulling his coat down over his arms. Yeah, like that. And tie his legs with his kerchief. There we are. That'll hold him. Now, I hope I'm not too late. Up, up, and away!
Sure got a fine night for our first trip with these oil trucks, Clem.
Yep.
Moon's so bright, I reckon I could knock over a coyote with my bow and arrow at 50 yards.
That moon sure makes this trip a mite more cheerful, Tumbleweed. Barring accidents, so I'll make good time.
Yeah, you reckon them wood plugs Mr. Kent said to put in them bullet holes will hold? This ain't no concrete highway, you know.
Don't worry none about that. Heard what he said about the weight of the oil holding them in.
I guess you're right, Clem. Yeah, he sure is one smart hombre, that Mr. Kent.
Yeah.
That's why I asked him to mosey on out here, because I figured if anybody could help me out of this mess with having a Cheney, he could.
Sure thing. Reckon if he hadn't been with us and them tanks was pumped full of daylight, he'd be piping this oil to the refinery through Abner Cheney's line.
Yeah, instead of busting up his stranglehold on the local oil producers by using these here trucks. Now, first thing you know, they'll all be doing this. And Cheney's pipeline will rot.
Ain't Leif McCall already ordered a couple of tank trucks for hauling his oil?
Yep. Me and Leif's the only two in these parts which wouldn't be hog-tied by Cheney. Matter of fact, it was Leif's gal, Mary, who first hit on the idea of using tank trucks.
Yeah, well, there's balancing rock up yonder.
Yeah.
Here's where that long downhill starts. Better shift her into low gear, I reckon, because this heavy load we're carrying is likely to push us downhill at a fast clip.
Okay. There. Hope the other boys follow suit. Don't want any of these trucks to get away on us.
Don't you worry none. They'll know. Leap 'em, Mavericks. What's that?
An explosion. Sounded like it come from the cliff.
Tumbleweed. Look, balancing rock.
Or a bear rolling down the hill straight at us.
Stop the truck and jump for your life. Come on, Tumbleweed. Jump.
Oh, look, Clem, up in the sky.
Tumbleweed is a man. Flying through the air.
Right.
But balancing rock, it's coming down that hill a mile a minute and heading this way.
Can't you see the man? He swooped down under it, standing right this way.
He's just standing there, waiting for it. I can't look. I can't look. What happened?
He caught it, Clem. Caught a balancing rock in his bare hands, like it was a ball of cotton. And he's heaving it right over our heads. Look at it, will you?
It ain't true, Tumbleweed. We've been seeing things. Going plumb local. That rock as big as a house.
Yeah, pull in your reins, Clem. Get a hold on yourself. It's all over now.
Tumbleweed. Look up. There he goes, flying off across the moon. Just like an eagle. Only it ain't no eagle.
Yeah, I see him.
Get a good look at him, Tumbleweed.
But everybody don't think I'm out of my mind when I tell about this.
I seen him, Clem. And this ain't the first time either.
You mean you've seen that flying man afore?
Yeah. You remember them stories I told you about Comanche Joe's ranch and what happened there last time Mr. Kent and Jimmy was visiting out here?
Yeah.
You remember how I said I seen a strange hombre in a red cape flying through the air?
You mean?
Yes, sir, that's him. The same one come back to save lives of innocent men again. That's the fella Jimmy calls Superman. Well, let's make tracks, Clem. We gotta keep rolling.
Saved from almost certain disaster, Tumbleweed's motorcade of tank trucks continues on its way to the Bear River refinery. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Jimmy, growing tired of waiting for Kent to return with his sandwich, slips on a robe and leaves the bunkhouse to investigate the delay.
Lights on in the cookhouse, all right. Wonder what's keeping Mr. Kent. Guess he got hungry himself. I'll just sneak in quietly and surprise him. Mr. Kent, what? He's not here. Who's that tied up on the floor? Why, it's Chuck Connors.
Sure, Jimmy, it's me. Get me loose from this street thing.
Who trussed you up like this, Chuck? Where's Mr. Kent? What happened?
Hold on, son. One thing at a time. Slip this coat up off my arm, especially a good boy.
Sure, Chuck. There. But where's Mr. Kent?
How should I know? Oh, my arm. Can't hardly use it. There. Untie my leg.
Okay. He said he was coming to the cookhouse to
Well, he ain't been here. Will you untie my leg so I can get the kinks out of my back?
Wait a minute. How did you get tied up like this? What happened?
Well, some masked hombre busted in here and laid me out. Now, will you untie me?
Man. Gosh. Maybe he got Mr. Kent, too.
Huh? Yeah, I reckon he did.
Except Mr. Kent wouldn't give up without a fight, and I'd have heard some noise.
Well, maybe you wouldn't, maybe you wouldn't. Anyhow, don't you think we better start looking around for him?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, then untie me like a good feller and give me a hand getting up. I'm kind of cramped now.
Okay. There. Your legs are free. Now hold on to me. There. And now you're up.
Sure feels good to stand up.
Now can we go look for Mr. Kent?
Yeah? Oh yeah. Here, come along with me out the corral. We'll saddle your pony and my pinto and ride out on the road. Maybe we'll find him.
Gosh. You think Mr. Kent went out after the man who tied you up?
Maybe.
Well, here's the corral, and there's Soldier, my pony. Oh, will you saddle him for me, Chuck? I'm not so good at it.
Yep, I'm just as anxious to find Mr. Kent as you are. Now, you wait here till I come back with the horses. Don't move, understand?
All right, Chuck, I won't. Gosh, I wonder what's gotten into him so suddenly. Sounded real mean, then. I wish I could feel sure his story about the masked man is true. I got a funny feeling that... Gee, Mr. Kent wouldn't just disappear. He would at least have yelled something. Uh-oh. Here he comes. Wait, Chuck, that isn't my pony.
Well, whatever it is.
Oh, it's just that I can't ride that horse. Tumbleweed said he's too wild for me. He'll throw me.
No, he won't. Not the way I'm going to fix you.
What do you mean?
Get up on him and I'll show you. Here. Step up on my hand.
I tell you, he's too big. Gosh, I'm not good enough to ride him. Hey, Chuck, what are you doing?
Just tying you on so you can't fall off, that's all.
But suppose he starts bucking. Suppose he tries to run away.
Well, you'll be tied on nice and snug.
Ouch.
That knot'll never slip. Now, I'm going to slap this here horse hard on the rump and send him galloping off with you into the meat.
But why, Chuck? What are you doing this for?
Because it's one way of getting even with your partner, Kent. What he done to me tonight.
What?
Till I get a chance to dose him with lead. When he gets back to the ranch, he'll find you gone. But don't you worry. Maybe the horse will bring you back in a few days. If the coyotes don't get you.
You skunk, you dirty polecat. If I was your size...
Hear that coyote yapping? Well, you'll be seeing him close up pretty soon. Here you go, yearling.
Help! Help! Mr. Kent, help!
Bound to the saddle, Jimmy cries out in terror as the wild, unbroken horse gallops into the darkness. What will be the outcome of Chuck Connor's dangerous method of revenge? Don't forget to hear the next episode of this adventure in the West. Tune in and listen with Superman.
Tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, then steel in his bare hand, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. When Clark Kent went to the cookhouse to get a sandwich for Jimmy Olsen, he found Chuck Connors, the foreman of Tumbleweed's oil field, talking on the telephone and plotting the destruction of Tumbleweed's tank trucks. Forcing the details of the plot from Connors, Kent trussed him up and, as Superman, sped to Tumbleweed's rescue, arriving just in time to stop the dislodged balancing rock from crushing the trucks. Back at the ranch, Jimmy, tired of waiting for Clark Kent, went to the cookhouse, where he found Chuck Connors and innocently liberated him. Suggesting that they go in search of Kent on horseback, Chuck lured Jimmy to the corral, where he mounted the boy on a wild, unbroken Mustang, tied him securely to the saddle, and sent the angry animal galloping furiously off across the mesa with his helpless, terrified rider. Listen.
Whoa, boy. Whoa. Gosh, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I can't control this wild horse. Oh, it's bucking like mad. Whoa. Whoa, stop. He's racing again now. If I could only stop him. I can't get my arms loose. Whoa. Whoa, boy, whoa. He nearly snapped my head off that time. These ropes. Can't budge him. Gosh, this crazy horse is heading to the edge of the cliff. He'll never see it in time to stop. We'll both be killed. Help! Mr. Kent! Tumbleweed! Somebody help! Help!
Meanwhile, unaware of Jimmy's plight, Superman streaks back to the ranch after having saved Tumbleweed's trucks from destruction. As he wings across the moon-drenched mesa, Superman's attention is attracted by a madly galloping horse, the animal obviously unguided in its reckless dash toward the edge of a steep cliff.
What's that down below? It's a horse, heading right for the cliff. And his rider is slumped down in the saddle like he's unconscious. I've got to stop that animal if I can. Down! Down! Here he comes over the edge. Now to catch him. There, got him. Now, back up to the cliff. Up! Up! Oh, there we are. Oh, boy. Easy now. Easy. That's it. Great Scott, it's Jimmy. And he's tied to the saddle. Off with these ropes. There we are. Now to stretch him out of the ground. Oh, the poor kid, he's out cold. I'd better change back to Clark Kent before he comes to.
Oh.
Coming around, all right. I wonder who did this to him. Jimmy.
Huh?
Jimmy, it's me, Mr. Kent.
Oh, Mr. Kent, that wild horse, he was going over the cliff. It was awful. I fainted.
Yes, I know. You're all right now, Jimmy.
Well, what happened? How did you get here?
I just happened to be out here. My horse ran away from me when I dismounted to examine something.
How did you save me? How did you stop that horse from going over the cliff?
Why, the horse suddenly swerved when he got to the edge and stopped himself. From fright, I guess. But tell me, Jimmy, who roped you on that animal?
It was Chuck Connors.
What?
I found him tied up in the cookhouse when I went to look for you. He told me something about a masked man hitting him on the head when he wasn't looking.
Masked man? Nothing. I did it.
You did? Why?
Well, when I went to the cookhouse for your sandwich, I found Chuck talking to somebody on the phone and plotting to wreck Tumbleweed's trucks.
Why, a dirty coyote. Gosh, and I had to let him go.
Yes, that's the unfortunate part. You see, I was counting on making Connors tell us who was behind this effort to smash the trucks and cause Tumbleweed all this trouble.
Tumbleweed? Did his trucks get wrecked? Do you think something's happened?
No, easy, Jimmy. Don't worry about Tumbleweed. Everything's okay. The trucks will get through all right.
Gosh, how do you know?
You take my word for it, Jimmy. They're all right.
Oh, golly, I sure hope so.
Well, let's get back to the ranch. With my horse gone, we'll both have to ride this one.
He's not broken. He'll buck us all.
Oh, he won't, Jim. He's been so thoroughly scared, he's as gentle as a lamb. Come on, I'll show you. Now, you get up and back of the saddle so you can hold on to me. Here, put your foot in my cupped hand. Now, up. There you go. That's it. Now, wait a minute. I'll mount. There we are. Now, hold on. You all set?
I think so.
Okay, let's go. Get up. Come on, get up.
As Kent and Jimmy ride back to the ranch, Abner Cheney, president of the Lost Valley Bank and owner of the only pipeline able to carry oil to the refinery, is having a heated discussion in his private office with his secret henchman, Dan Lawson, who poses as an oil broker.
All right, if you didn't bungle that job, what did it?
Well, we had everything set. The dynamite charge was planted under balancing rock as soon as Chuck Connor's phone from Tumbleweed's ranch the trucks had left. When the boys saw the headlights start coming down the steep grade under the rock, the charge was set off and the 50-ton boulder toppled off its point and came rolling down the hill like a fast express. Then what happened? Now, this is the part that don't make sense. A man, wearing a cape, came swooping down out of the sky, stopped the rock practically over the lead truck's cab, and, get this, heaved it across the road.
Are you crazy? You expect me to believe that?
Remember, Cheney, I told you before it was hard to take.
Larson, that's one lie of yours I can't swallow. It's the last one you'll ever tell me.
I swear I saw it with my own eyes.
All I know is you let a dumb cowhand prove he could do without my pipeline.
Honest, Cheney, I'm telling you the gospel truth. But even so, why worry about Tumbleweed Jones? You've got everybody else's business.
It isn't his business I want. Can't you see how his success will make all the other pipeline producers see how they can do without my pipeline?
Wait a minute. I've just thought of an idea.
Like all the rest of your stupid schemes, I'm not in.
No, listen to this. I happened to find out today that Comanche Joe never made over a deed or a bill of sale to that ranch he gave Tumbleweed.
Well, what of it?
Don't you see? That means he borrowed money from the bank without showing proof that he owns the property. And you can claim he took the money under false pretenses.
Yes, I see. Well, you may have something there. Oh, no, it won't work. You can get Comanche Joe to give him a bill of sale.
That's easy to fix. I'll call Comanche and ask him to come into town to discuss a deal. When he gets here, a couple of the boys will take him into the hills.
And tomorrow morning, bright and early, I pay a visit to Jones' ranch. And give him 24 hours to sign a pipeline contract with me or go to jail for fraud.
Sure.
Get on that telephone, Larson.
Okay.
Well, it's almost 8 o'clock. Tumbleweed and the truck should be rolling in any minute now.
Yeah. I'll bet they'll all appreciate a cup of coffee waiting for them. Ouch! That pot's hot.
Careful, Jim. Hey, how'd you sleep last night?
Oh, like a top, Mr. Kent. I must have been pretty tired.
Yes, I guess you were. After that exciting ride on a wild bronco. Wait a minute. I think I hear the trucks.
I can't hear anything. Yes, I hear them. Let's go down by the gate to meet them.
Okay. Take it easy.
They're going to turn in. Come on. Hi, Tumbleweed. They made it okay, Mr. Kent.
Of course they did. Hello, Tumbleweed.
Hi, fellas. All right, boys. Set them off. Okay. Hello there, Mr. Kent.
Hiya.
Jimmy. Well, sure is good to see you. Especially when I never expected to lay eyes on you again.
Why, what do you mean, Tumbleweed? Did something happen?
Well, it sure did. Jimmy, you remember that there balancing rock I told you I was going to take you over to see? Well, it ain't balancing no more.
What do you mean, Tumbleweed?
Well, last night, as we was rolling under it, the rock took a notion to get off in its perch. And down it come like a stampeding herd of loco steers.
But it missed you, didn't it?
Missed us nothing, Jim. It was a-coming right smack for us. When he caught it in his bare hands and heaved it over the road.
Who caught it?
It was him, Jimmy. Superman. The same flying man who saved your life and mine last time you was out here.
Superman? Out here?
Now, look, Tumbleweed, you must have been seeing things.
I swear, Mr. Kent,
We can talk about that later. What's more important is that last night I caught Chuck Connors on your phone, plotting with somebody to wreck your trucks.
Chuck Connors? You must be mistaken. Why, Chuck's one of my best men. No, it can't be.
Oh, it was all right. He roped me to a wild Mustang and sent me out on the mesa alone.
He did, eh? Well, where is he now, Jimmy?
Let me get my paws on him.
No, he's gone. Escaped. But we'll find him. Uh-oh. Who's that turning in off the road?
Golly, it's a swell-looking car. Man.
Yeah. It's Abner Cheney, president of the Lost Valley Bank.
Good morning, Tumbleweed.
Howdy, Mr. Cheney. What brings you out here so early?
I drove out to tell you that you're in trouble, Tumbleweed. Serious trouble with the law.
Trouble? With the law? What have I done?
Well, I've just discovered that you borrowed money from my bank under false pretenses.
Now, hold on, Mr. Cheney. I may be a dumb cowhand, but I'm a law-abiding citizen. I ain't never broke no law. What you shooting at?
When you borrowed money from my bank, you put this ranch up as collateral. Now I find you don't own the ranch.
That ain't true, and you know it. Comanche Joe give me it lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, that's your story. But the fact is that Comanche Joe never filed a deed of transfer to this ranch, so the property remains his.
Now, wait a minute. Why can't this all be straightened out by calling Comanche Joe?
Why, sure. He'll tell you. He'll prove that you ain't got no right to infer that Tumbleweed deals a crooked deck.
That will be mighty tough to prove, gentlemen, because Comanche Joe has disappeared, vanished in the Peony. As a matter of fact, there's some talk about your having something to do with that, too.
Well, Tumbleweed is really in a jam now. Has Lawson's plan to capture Comanche Joe been successful? And if so, how will Tumbleweed be able to prove his innocence of fraud? What can Superman do now to help his friend? Tune in again next time for another thrilling episode in this exciting story of the West with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Stand by to raise shift. Blast off minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Roaring rockets blast off the distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. A great time capsule has been lowered into the ground at the Venus Interplanetary Exposition. It contains the story of man's march through space and records of industrial, cultural, and scientific progress, all meant for the information of humanity in future ages. But Eddie Morgan and Bill Rice find that a precious secret has also been accidentally put into the capsule, and they succeed in getting to the capsule and stealing the vital information. Now, at Space Academy, cadets Tom Corbett and Roger Manning wait for Captain Strong to return from a high-level conference with Commander Arkwright.
Sit down, Roger, or by the critters of Luna, I'll blast you down.
Let me alone, Junior. For letting those crooks slip through our fingers, we deserve a good, hard, jet-propelled kick.
I know how you feel, Roger, but we were pretty lucky to get out of that shaft at all.
Sure, which doesn't change the fact that there's a couple of jokers running around loose somewhere in the universe with the master formula for operating all energy locks. And we let them get away with it. We, Tom.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself, Manning.
Captain Strong.
Hello, boys. If it'll help, Commander Arkwright wants me to thank you.
He does?
Yes, Manning, if you two hadn't become suspicious of that phony space ride concession and found the shaft dug to the capsule, we'd never have known anything.
You know, that's right. Come to think of it, we were pretty keen.
Careful, Roger. You'll break your arm.
Huh?
Patting yourself so hard on the back.
I'm just agreeing with Commander Arkwright.
Oh, just the same. We should have been...
Hold it, boys. This is no time for a squabble.
Oh, sorry, sir. Has a general alarm gone out? To pick up Morgan and Rice, I mean.
No, and I don't expect one will. You've got to realize what a panic that'd cause. Every bank vault, the safes on all rocket ships, every secret of the Solar Alliance is protected by energy lock.
That's why I think you'd want to...
Put them all on guard? No. Certainly not before we know more about Rice and Morgan's whereabouts. And as a matter of fact, they may not even be able to understand the formula they stole from the capsule. At least that's what we're hoping.
You're being called on the teleceiver, sir.
I'll take it, Corbett. Captain Strong here. Oh, yes, Lieutenant Wolchek. What? You have? I see. $500,000, huh? Take this order, Lieutenant. Plan F is in force. Group 8, Squadron 9. Have you got that? Good. We'll blast off immediately.
Plan F, sir? Then that must mean bad news.
It certainly does, Corbett. A passenger ship on its way to Mars has just been pirated of $500,000 credits.
Oh, brother, that means Morgan and Rice have gone to work.
Exactly, Manning. The thieves went through the energy lock as though it was space dust.
Sir, are we going to get a crack at those two?
Not only you, but the whole Solar Guard.
What kind of a ship have they got, anyway?
They seem to be using the same chemical fuel job they were using here at the exposition. At least it fits the description of the pirate rocket.
That old beat-up hulk, the Nancy Adams? They won't get very far in that.
Maybe not, but we're not taking no chances. Rocket cruiser Orion is on patrol in Sector 12, Chart M. She's been ordered to move in. Squadron 9 is getting ready now, and we'll be blasting off with it, just as soon as we can get to Venusport.
What'd I tell you, Rice? Just like tackling a can of sardine.
A full-size spaceport. And we opened it up like that and took their credits easy as rolling off a log.
Yeah. Well, you ever forget the look on the skipper's face when that vault door swung open? And this is just the beginning, Rice. The first job. Don't forget the payroll for the miners and Titan. 5 million credits.
Something on the radar. Let me take a look.
Hey, Eddie, come quick. What's the matter? Running into a little space junk?
Yeah, if that's what you want to call a Solar Guard heavy cruising.
Huh? Let me see that. Good. Fine, big ship.
Are you crazy? They must be looking for us.
Which makes things even. I've been looking for them.
What?
Listen, Dopey. You didn't think we were going to be able to operate in this tin can much longer.
What's the matter with the Nancy Adams?
What isn't? No, sir, Rice. We need a new ship, a fast ship.
We could buy one with all the money we got.
I want the best. That means a Solar Guard cruiser.
You must be out of your mind. How can we?
I got plans. Now listen to me and do as I...
Attention, Space Raider Nancy Adams. Stand by for inspection. This is rocket cruiser Orion of the Solar Guard. Stand by for inspection.
Inspection? That means they'll come aboard, find the credits.
Let them come. They'll find nothing. Not the credits, not even us.
I don't get it.
Put on a spacesuit. Quick.
Attention, Nancy Adams. We are ordering you to stand by.
For gosh sakes, Morgan.
I'm telling you, don't worry. Get on the spacesuits while I answer.
Okay.
Space Freighter Nancy Adams to Solar Guard cruiser Orion. We hear you. We are standing by for inspection. We may couple airlocks at will. Now let them come aboard. They can have the Nancy Adams. We'll take over the Orion.
I'm going crazy trying to figure out how...
Don't strain that lame brain of yours, Rice. Just follow orders. And by the time we're through, we'll be the first pirates in history to go blasting through space in a Solar Guard cruiser.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett and the Space Cadets in just a moment, so stand by.
Spaceman, I'd like you to hear a special on-the-scene recording I made the other day when I inspected the space liner Nebula prior to the cosmic space line. I'll start the recording now. Spaceman, I'm proceeding down the galleyway of the Nebula. That muffled noise you hear in the background comes from the radiomagnetic conveyor belt that is taking me toward the main dining room. Here we are in the main dining room of the Nebula. Hold on, what's this? Well, I'll push the button and see. Well, what do you know? It's the button for the breakfast chimes. Oh, and here's the breakfast menu. Say, let's see what they have for breakfast on the Nebula. Well, Spaceman, here it is in big, bright lettering. For breakfast, the Nebula serves Kellogg's Pep. You know, that's no surprise, because Kellogg's Pep is the spaceman's breakfast. We all know how Pep is the build-up wheat cereal that gives you lots of hard-hitting food energy. Pep has essential vitamins that help you grow up with strong bones and healthy muscles. And Pep tastes so delicious. You eat one spoonful of Pep, and you'll agree that there's nothing so swell-tasting as Pep's whole wheat and malt flavor. So, spacemen, when the breakfast chimes sound in your house, join in with the passengers on the Nebula and all the cadets at Space Academy. Eat the spaceman's breakfast, Kellogg's Pep.
When Morgan and Rice pirate a passenger ship en route from Mars to Venusport, taking more than 500,000 credits, they are spotted by the rocket cruiser Orion, which flashes word back to Solar Guard headquarters. Captain Strong, commanding a squadron of rocket destroyers, blasts off immediately, and with Tom and Roger is now nearing the Orion's last reported position.
Radar bridge control deck, Captain Strong.
Yes, Manning, what is it?
I picked up the Orion, sir, but there's no sign of the Nancy Adams.
Good enough. Relay the radar to our control deck scanner.
Here she comes.
That's the Orion, all right. Well, they ought to know what's become of Morgan and Rice. Let's talk to them. Attention, Orion. Attention. This is Captain Strong calling the Orion. Come in, please. Attention, Orion. Come in. Captain Strong to Orion. Come in.
Well, that's strange. They're not answering. Skipper, look at the scanner. The Orion's blasting away from us.
Captain, get a load of that. She's heading full space speed in the wrong direction.
Yes, Manning, we see. And we're just as puzzled as you are. Whatever you do, keep her on your screen.
I'll try it. Uh-oh. Message coming in just a second, sir.
Of all the space-happy setups, first no sign of the Nancy Adams. Then the Orion acts as though everybody on board is oxygen drunk.
Here's that message, sir. It's from the rocket destroyer TCJ 205 Squadron 9. They picked up the Nancy Adams, and what do you think they found aboard?
Manning, this is no time for guessing games.
All right, sir, but hold on to your space helmet. On that old tub was the crew of the Orion.
What? Well, you must have it wrong.
No, sir. Here's the whole message. To Captain Strong, sighted, boarded freighter Nancy Adams. Found crew of cruiser Orion aboard, with automatic flight and communications equipment smashed. All hands secure. Signed, Lieutenant Walczak.
By the rings of Saturn.
Captain, maybe it's a phony message.
No. That explains why the Orion blasted away from us. Somehow, Morgan and Rice have managed to get control of that cruiser after fixing their own ship so it wouldn't operate.
I've got Walczak back. Any instructions, Captain?
I'll speak directly, Manning. Attention all rocket destroyers, Squadron 9. Our target is Cruiser Orion, Sector 12, Chart M. Prepare for maneuver Z for Zebra. Z for Zebra. Ready all ships for battle.
Better take this baby off the automatic control first. Looks like we got a fight in our hands.
Attention, Orion. Attention, Orion. Stand by for boarding. You have 30 seconds to stand by for boarding or we'll open fire. This is your first and last warning.
You hear that, Morgan? They're going to blast us. Let them try. My guns have twice the range of theirs, and my brains are 10 times better. Stand by to maneuver, Rice. Stand by to knock a destroyer squadron right out of space.
Captain Strong, the Orion's altering course.
Skipper, the Orion's getting in position to fire. She's countering Army over Zebra with K for Katie.
Get this message to all ships immediately, Manning.
Yes, sir.
To all ships, Squadron 9, execute maneuver X for X-ray. X for X-ray, immediately.
What's happened, sir?
Corbett, I just realized. Morgan and Rice have access to the Solar Guard code book aboard the Orion. So every time I order a maneuver, they know what we're going to do.
But that means they can counter every move.
Exactly. They're always a step ahead of us, and always will be as long as we work as a squadron.
But, Captain, then why did you order X for X-ray?
X means every ship works on its own ideas. It means a knockdown, drag-out fight where somebody always gets hurt. But we've got to take Morgan and Rice. With a rocket cruiser in their hands, they can terrorize the entire solar system, robbing, looting, and with our code book, they'll be on to every move we make.
Just received acknowledgement of maneuver X from all ships, sir.
Right. Thanks, Manning.
Skipper, the radar told our ships they've been hit. Blasted into space junk.
Just what I needed. 2 bolts from the blasters. 2 big splashes of light. What do you think of the solar guards now, right?
I gotta hand it to you, Morgan. You're a big man.
And this is only the beginning. With the energy lock formula, this rocket cruiser, and the guard's code book, we're going to tear the solar system apart.
I don't care what happens to the system so long as we get credits.
Right. Now, we start nice and easy. Stick to the small stuff for a while. Space yachts around Venusport. Passenger rockets out of New Chicago. Then, when we've thrown the solar guard off balance, we pull the 5 million credit job.
Morgan, if we take that minus payroll, we can retire, live like kings.
Or even better, like the greatest pirates in history. Rice, get a spray gun full of paint.
Huh?
I want you to paint our emblem on the Orion's hull.
Our emblem?
Yeah, the pirate signature. A skull and crossbones.
Here's another report on Morgan and Rice, sir. Took another passenger ship between Luna City and Venusport.
Same methods?
Yes, sir. Fired a blaster at the communications antenna, and then Rice from the Orion covered Morgan while he boarded the ship and opened the energy lock.
How much this time?
Nearly 300,000.
And we can't seem to get within 100,000 miles of them. The finest equipment in the Solar Alliance goes into those heavy cruisers.
Any ideas where they might be hiding, sir?
Anywhere. From the gray zone of Mercury to the moons of Jupiter. And we can't check every piece of space junk in the system.
Just got the new code from cryptography section, Captain Strong. I'd like to see Morgan use this. It's based
Never
on...
mind what it's based on, Manning. That's supposed to be a secret.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
A new code for the Solar Guard, Captain?
The first step in taking away Morgan's information.
Yeah, especially with that big shipment going to the miners on Titan.
A special code for the Titan payroll.
That's right. We can't take chances with 5 million credits. Or do you think we ought to?
Well, sir, saving the payroll won't trap Morgan and Rice. But if we used it as bait...
Bait?
Yes. Suppose we send a message to Titan that we're going to try to fool the pirates. That the payroll's going on board an old beat-up freighter. And send it in the old code.
Morgan will try to intercept the freighter.
We'll make sure he does. In our message, let's say the freighter will be in a certain quadrant at a certain time.
And around that quadrant, we'll have a whole Solar Guard task force ready to converge on that spot. Is that it, Corbett?
Yes, sir. The thing that's been giving us so much trouble is the fact that Morgan has our code. But that's the very thing that can bring him into our trap. Look at him, Roger. Every Solar Guard ship available has been assigned to this mission.
Yeah, I never saw so many destroyers and cruisers. By the rings of Saturn, Morgan and Rice better head for another galaxy.
Ah, here you are, boys.
The Polaris is all set, sir.
We're not taking the Polaris.
We're not Well, why not, sir?
Commander Arkwright has placed me in command of the fleet. If you want to come along on the flagship, fine.
You mean just stand around and watch?
Want a little action, Manning?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Corbett?
I feel the same way, Captain.
Well, the decoy ship, the freighter, will have to be piloted by someone, and...
We volunteer.
I'll say.
Boys, I won't pretend I'm not happy. But you ought to know what you're getting into. You'll be decoys, operating under sealed orders, observing complete communication silence.
That'll mean less work, Skipper, which is the way I like it.
You won't be able to call for help, whatever happens.
Believe me, sir, if anyone calls for help after we meet those pirates, it isn't going to be Corbett and Manning.
You said it, Junior. Captain, hand over those sealed orders.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett and the Space Cadets in just a moment. So stand by.
Spaceman, my name is Cadet Montgomery. Here in my hand I have a pair of official space goggles. They're just like the kind you can get from Space Academy Supply Headquarters. I wouldn't go out into space without my pair for all the uranium in Jupiter. You see, these space goggles once saved my life. It happened a couple of months ago. I was at the controls of a rocket cruiser when I had to change course and head into the glaring sun. For a moment I was blinded. I couldn't see. And then I put on my space goggles. It was a lucky thing I thought of them, because all of a sudden I saw a Martian space freighter blast out of nowhere and swing across my path. We were headed on a collision course. The Martian pilot, blinded by the sun, couldn't see me. I had to act fast. I called for emergency speed and gave the rudder controls all they had. It was going to be close. But we made it. Thanks to my space goggles, I'd seen that Martian just in time. Spaceman, if I hadn't been wearing my goggles, I'd be space dust now.
Thanks for your story, Cadet Montgomery. And now, Spaceman, here's what you do to get your pair of space goggles. Pay close attention because I'm going to give these instructions just once. Ready? Send 1 box top from Kellogg's Pep, 25 cents, and your name and address. Send to Kellogg's, Box 346. Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Send for your space goggles today, and tomorrow morning, eat a spaceman's breakfast. Eat Kellogg's Pep.
A giant trap has been set for the pirate Morgan and his accomplice. And at the very center, serving as bait, is an old freighter being flown through space by Tom Corbett and Roger Manning. And now, as they wait for the ruthless man to strike...
See anything, Roger?
Not a thing, Tom.
4 hours now. Maybe Morgan's wise.
I don't see how he could be. Hey, what are you doing?
Reading the orders again. Proceed to Space Quadrant 17, Sector 9, Chart R. That's it, nothing else.
So now we play sitting duck for Morgan. Why don't those guys come on?
Hold on to your space helmet, Roger. I think we've got company.
Where?
There, on the radar scanner. Is that a ship or a piece of space junk?
If that's space junk, it's got rockets.
Keep your fingers crossed, Roger.
It's the Orion, all right. I can see her through the viewport now.
Complete with skull and cross.
Hey, he's blasting us.
Trying to smash the communications antenna as usual.
Then his next step would be to...
Attention, Space Freighter in Sector 9. You are in my sights. Stand by for boarding. Attempt no resistance when I couple airlocks. Attempt no resistance if you value your life.
I wonder if they'll recognize it.
Very wise of you to take it so calmly, gentlemen. And now... Why, you're Manning and Corbett.
And the game is up, Morgan. You walked into a trap.
What? I don't believe it. You're bluffing.
Morgan, the fleet. When the race is set on the whole solar guard fleet, they're trapping us. We gotta get away fast.
Hold on, you idiot. I'm coming. Just let me blast these 2 space punks to the west.
They can't get me. I'm getting out of here.
Rice, you run out of me and I'll get...
Too late, Morgan. He's gone. Ripped the airlock apart.
But he's not going very far. Look at the radar scanner. Here comes the fleet. Must be 100 of them.
Where?
Rice has opened fire.
So is the fleet.
He's doubling back this way.
They're still firing. We'll get hit. Watch out!
My eyes! I can't see! I'm blind!
Roger, are you all right? Yeah. The explosion knocked out our lights. He thinks he's blind. I'll watch him just the same. He's got a ray gun. Maybe he's bluffing.
Somebody speak! I can't see!
Where is he? By the control panel. You remember the old game of turkey gobbler? You mean make a noise and then hide? Yeah, you go to the left and I'll circle to the right.
Please say something! I can't see!
Now be careful.
Have pity on me, will you? I'm blind! I'll throw away my ray gun! I'll at least say something!
He's got 2, Tom. He's bluffing. Yeah, I know. Come on, let's go. Okay.
Hey, you stuck Space 8. Here I am. Not there. Here, Morgan. Now, over here, Morgan.
I'll get you, you young punks. You can't outfox me.
Well, get me here, Morgan. You're pulling to the left. Try again.
Playing games with me, huh? Well, you can't.
Missed again.
I'll get you. So the guy's gonna trap me, huh? Well, I'm more than a pirate. You can't get me.
Hey, Roger. How many was that? 9 blasts. Must be low on power. Come on. Let's roll.
He's out cold.
Get some emergency lights on, Roger. I want to take a look at this guy unarmed. There.
Manning! Corbett, where are you?
Up here, Skipper, on the control deck.
Oh, I've been worried. The blast that knocked out the Orion. Some of it's still over on the freighter.
Good thing, too. It knocked our lights out and saved our lives. And then we kept Morgan shooting till his ray gun ran out of power.
Where is that space rat anyway? Well, I'll be sleeping like a baby.
Oh, well, I guess I did hit him pretty hard, sir.
You hit him?
Of course I did, Junior. Not that you didn't help. I don't want to hog all the credit.
Well, of all... Hold it, boys, hold it. This man learned the most guarded secret in the entire universe. Captured a Solar Guard cruiser and stole more money than any pirate in history. There's plenty of credit for both of them.
Oh, we know, sir. It's not that.
Boys, couldn't we say that you both hit him equally hard?
Why? Well, I guess so. Sure. I'm willing. But I hit him first.
action-packed adventure of Tom Corbett and the Space Cadets on Tuesday, when they fly the largest passenger rocket in the universe to Venus, but find themselves on a round trip to disaster. Tune in, same time, same station on Tuesday for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in today's cast were Jan Merlin, Edward Bryce, and Ivor Francis. Today's program was written by Richard Jessup, directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Raisins and Bran Flakes, too. They're out of this world. They're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Kellogg's raisins are honeycomb coated to keep them tender. The Bran Flakes crisper. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Raisins and Bran Flakes, too. They're out of this world. They're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. Slowly approaching to save you, your frightened captors plan to kill you. Listen now as Escape brings you Anthony Ellis's exciting story, 4 Went Home. To be honest. Come on. That's one. Once you know it's going to an inside straight, you'll never learn. That one. Oh, I'm happy. I'll play these. Wow. A lot of people listening in. Play these. How about you, Chris? Me? I'm honest. 3. Yeah, honest. Oh, good. So I'm honest. And the dealer takes, 1? Okay, who bets? First bet. Chris, okay, I'm thinking. I check. There were 5 of us moving on the floor clockwise. Jerry Mitchell, infantry. He was the kid. The Nazis got him at the bulge. He'd seen a lot of war and he was sick because of it. He was a good kid. Mitch. I'll sit and raise a hat. Oh, wait a minute. Get up to him. Henry Dutch Armstead, infantry. He'd been in the bulge, too, along with Mitch. He was from Pennsylvania. Used to play football. In fact, he made a career of it for 7 years. Went from school to school, south and west. Called himself a football bum. His pal was Mitch. Dutch was okay. A big guy. Dutch? I'll call. Good morning. New Sandy Sapper speaking. Dark, wiry sap. Machine gunner. He taught math in a small upstate New York school and turned in his uniform somewhere in Belgium. A quiet man. Sap? Call him, age 50. His name was Curcio. Andy Curcio, kid from Danbury. He had a job in a hat factory waiting for him when he got home. Curcio had been blown out of his tank, which was lucky for him. The other guys didn't do so well. And Curcio never forgot it. He was still fighting the war, even at prison camp. Curcio? Boo. I'm out.
What do you got, Fletch?
Bullets, dolls.
3 deuces, 3.
That beats me. I have a small straight.
Oh.
Straight to what, Sap?
To the 8.
It's tough. Mine goes to the 10. Oh, ever see anything like that? Write it down, will you, Sap?
Oh, yes, I got it. 385 to Sergeant Nestor.
Sergeant Nestor. Give him a good shuffle, huh? Oh, sure. Anything about it. Shut him away, fellas. There goes the lights.
Always got a machine.
Oh, well, another day, another dollar. Got a raise, eh, Sap?
Funny.
Like your Dad. Saturday night. Saturday poker game with the guys. We knew it was Saturday because we kept score of the days on the calendar. You didn't count days, you kept score with them. And the game was to see who was going to win. You were the days. I guess as prison came score, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. There was nothing. The Nazis didn't talk to us much, and we didn't talk to them. All except Curcio. We had to watch him because he loved to shoot off his mouth. The next hour or so, I lay in my bunk thinking about jury and home. I figured most of the others were asleep until a pair of legs swung down from the bunk above and dropped to the floor next to me. It was Sapper Street.
You sleep, Sarge? Hey, listen, I got an idea.
I can?
I think this will work.
Now, knock it off, Sappy. Get some sleep.
Oh, wait a minute.
Look. What's that?
I found it last week. A piece of coat hanger.
Yeah, but it's all twisted.
I know, I did it. I think I can open the door with it.
Unlock the door with that?
I tried it. Last night when we were all asleep, I didn't have time to get it open because I heard the guard going, but I think it'll work.
Here, let me see that.
Here. You see, the lock's old-fashioned. Match?
Yeah. One of those dreams again, I guess.
That kid doesn't look too good.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
What are you going to do?
See if we can lift the door. I'm going to go to the guard past you here.
About 10 minutes?
That gives us 5 more then before he comes back.
Hey, what do you think, Sarge? Will you back?
Well, let's wait and see if we can open it.
Okay, go ahead. It's got the cat somewhere on the bottom. I felt it last night.
You haven't told the other guys, have you?
No, in the sense getting more excited.
Yeah. Come on. It was cold standing at the door. We were always cold in the camp. But that night I noticed it more. Saperson worked away with this bit of wire, his tongue sticking out between his teeth in concentration. About 4 minutes must have passed when... I got it. All right, try the rub. Close it quick. Guard's coming. Can you lock it again?
I think so.
He might have heard Mitch.
Sarge, I can't get it to catch.
Now, cut it out. You'll hear. Stop it.
of us were sweating before it was done. Sap and I agreed that I should talk to the guys in the morning after inspection and see if we could work out a plan. I figured the best way would be an exercise. Mitch was cleaning up the room and Sap was playing handball with fellas from another unit, so there were just Armstead and Curcio and me. It was too cold to sit, so we walked up and down the enclosure. It's cold as Mitch's nose. You're not just kidding. Chuck, I want to tell you guys something. What is it, Sarge? Saperstein and they got the door open last night. Oh, you're kidding. You and I keep it down, will you? Now, look. From what we hear, our guys are about 80 miles west. Maybe. Okay. Now, if they get closer, we gotta take a chance one way or the other. Let's get out of here. That or try and figure what the nonsense will do to us if they think our guys are gonna spring us out. Yeah, I've been thinking about that plenty. There's more than 1,000 of us in here. I've done it before. Gas, machine guns. That's the chance. But what about the fence? You think we can get over? Might. Yeah, but it's electrified. Not over there, Curcio. Not with the gate. Well, that's right into the top of it. Says before the near the searchlight. That's what I mean. That's the chance. It's all right with me. Sure. I'll talk to the other guys later, though. Oh, hey, what about Mitch, though? I don't know. How do you think, Dutch? He goes with. Sure he does. You think he can make it? He's in bad shape, Dutch. He might blow up. No, you leave that to me. The kid's okay. He's just a little nervous. He's okay. We can make it. Why don't we try it, Sarge? Tonight? Might as well tonight. Oh, boy, wouldn't that be something? Get my hands on a gun again. Oh, boy, I'll give me a couple more Nazis before this war, so we gotta swallow you, do that. Come on, we better get back with the others. Hey, see over there? Bombs. Give it to them. Good. Lancasters. Boys. Lancasters. A buck. Okay, a buck. What do you say, Sarge? You didn't learn much of aircraft recognition, did you? Lancasters. Oh, boy. We'd thought of breaking out before, but it never came to anything, mostly because it couldn't be done in daylight. There was no sense trying to dig either, on account of the rock underneath. We'd found that out a long time back. But now, with a key, it was different. We didn't get a chance to talk together again until just before final inspection and lockup. Mitch was the big problem, and I put it up to him the way it was. That's great, fellas. Count me in. You think you're up to it, Mitch? Me? Sure. Of course, taking a big chance, kid. You'll be all right, I tell you. Now, wait a minute, Dutch. Let him decide for himself. Now, we want you to go, Mitch, but if you don't feel like you can make it, we can fix it so you won't get in any trouble if we leave you. How? How are you going to fix it? How we can knock him over the head and then he can tell him that he tried to stop us. Hey, that'll work. That's swell. How about that, Mitch? What's the matter with you guys? I'm coming, Mitch. I'm okay, honest. He's coming. Oh, watch out for him. He's coming, that's all. All right. All right, knock it off, inspection. Hi, you little witch. Shut up, Garcia. Okay, yeah? So help me, Curcio, you pull something like that again, I'm gonna bust you wide open. Nah, boy, just a sneaking. That's enough, Curcio. Well, what do you say, fellas? It's okay with me. Yeah. Okay. Now, if we get out, we'll start heading west. Make as much time as we can before it gets light. Then hide out until tomorrow night. With luck, we ought to meet our guys along the way. What happens if they pull back? Maybe the guard who said they were 80 miles away was giving us the needle. Well, what about that? Well, listen, what about it? Well, maybe they want us to make a break so they can have an excuse to... Take it easy, kid. You see what I mean? We'll keep on walking till we find them.
We'll find them, Mitch. Don't worry.
Hey, fellas, how about poker? You know, celebration last night?
What do you say?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Why? Break them on, Sap. I feel lucky tonight.
We will return to Escape, and tonight's story 4 went home in just a moment. Daily, the broadcasts of Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia strike through the Iron Curtain, bringing the truth about the free world to the captive peoples behind it. Help send a message by giving to the 1952 Crusade for Freedom. And now, back to Escape. Badly. Every one of us looked at cards and thought of something else. I guess Mitch was the worst. He was really scared. And Mitch hadn't always been a scared guy. He talked a lot about what he was going to do when he joined up with our fellows. Talked about his girl and home and too many things. Because we knew he was scared, we let him go on talking. Then it was lights out. I made the guys lay down on their buckets. Nobody was going to sleep for sure, but the rest wasn't going to hurt. It was a little after 9.
Say, Dutch? What was the score when you played Penn?
When I played with who?
Tech. Tech, the year you went to the ball.
34-6. We won.
Yeah, I was right. 34-6. 34. Boy, what a slug.
Got my feet busted in that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Mitch. The kid, you okay?
Me? Sure.
Where'd it go?
That's it, boy.
Well, what's the time, Sarge?
Not even 9:30. Lots of time. Take it easy.
Sure.
I found myself singing a song under my breath over and over. The way you sometimes do, you know. And went backwards. I remember seeing a movie with Jimmy at home. And all the little things that happened that night. The movie and Coke afterwards. Everything except the name of the song. Hey, what is it, Sarge? Fellas, what's the name of this? Kissing. Just a kiss. Boy, it's more than that. Hey, I know. Time goes by.
Time goes by.
You remember Bergman? Boy. Yeah. You know, my wife Jenny's Swedish. You know how the Swedes say Ingrid Bergman? No. Ingrid Bergman.
Okay.
Yeah, Ingrid Bergman.
You think we could get out, Sarge? You think?
We'll get out.
Listen, fellas, if anything happens...
Nothing's going to happen, kid.
Sure, I know. But if it does, will you tell the folks?
Nothing's going to happen, Mitch.
Mitch, why don't you stick it out here? Hey, kid, you'll be okay.
No, I'm fine. Maybe a little nervous, you know.
Sure.
Guess maybe you guys think I'm chicken, huh?
Oh, no, kid, no.
So, listen, I got some poker money collected from a couple of years. Don't forget it.
How am I going to forget? I'll be busted for 10 years paying up what I lost in here.
What's the time, Sarge? 10:30. 10:30. The guard passed our door every 15 minutes. I counted from 9 o'clock. He was coming back for the 6th time. And he'd pass 6 more times. Then we'd go. I thought about Mitch and the others. Talk about the flip of a coin. This was it. You give a guy 3 stripes on his sleeve and he does no thinking for the rest. And if he thinks long, what about that? There was still time to call it off. And there was still time when it was a couple of minutes to 12. Stay in the camp and maybe the Nazis wouldn't get far enough to knock us off because our fellows would release us. Maybe. How do you look at a man's face and know what he's got in his mind? A Nazi's face. A Nazi's mind. Okay. All set. Down. Now we're waiting till the guard passes at 12, and then, Sap, you get to the door and get it unlocked in a hurry. Why not unlock it now, Sergeant? We could be good. No, we can't take a chance. I want it quiet. Real quiet. You understand? Yes, sir. Stay in your bunks until I say. You ready, Seth? Yeah. Okay. 12 coming up. Now. He's late. Of all the nights, now you know you... I'll take it
Featured in the cast were John Boehner as Olmsted, Peter Leeds as Curcio, Bob Sweeney as Mitch, and Jack Crucian as Saperstein. Editorial supervision is by John Meston, and the special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week. You are crawling across a jungle savannah, your body flaming with fever. While behind you lies certain death, and ahead the endless tortures of perpetual imprisonment. So listen next week when Escape brings you Evelyn Waugh's classic story, The Man Who Liked Dickens. Lux Radio Theater adapts an Academy Award winner, the African Queen, bringing you Humphrey Bogart in his original role, co-starring Greer Garson. Also tomorrow on most of these same CBS radio stations, listen for Lloyd Nolan in the story titled The Man with Two Heads on Suspense. Roy Rowan speaking. This is the CBS Radio Network.
Instant Ralston and regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are on the planet Mars, searching for Carol in an underground storage room filled with ancient, musty books. Suddenly, a sound that's more than a sound presses down upon them.
Commander, my head hurts.
So does mine.
I can hardly stand it. What's causing it, sir?
Ultrasonic vibration.
Yeah, but where are they coming from?
From the resonator up near the ceiling. The vibrations kill insects that attack the old documents.
What'll it do to us?
If we can't shut off that resonator, we'll meet the same fate as the insects. We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Martian Masquerade. Time's up, Space Patrollers. This is the last call for the terrific MonoView Outer Space Helmet. Yes, this is the last week we can tell you how to get one. So, fire rockets! And get going, because I don't want any of you to miss out on the fun you can have with an outer space helmet. Now, just think, you can go off on imaginary trips anywhere in the universe through the eyes of that one-way eye plate. You can see everything clearly, but strange and different. A real spaceman's eye view. And with your helmet on, you'll look like an honest-to-goodness spaceman, too. It's a foot high. It slips over your head, rests on your shoulders, covers up your entire head. And that one-way eye plate is like magic. It lets you see out, but nobody can see in. Nobody can tell who you are. And what's more, it's got real-looking oxygen tanks, breathing tubes, and a crackling red and black lightning flash hood printed right on. Yes, sir, it's just what the spaceman ordered. Now, remember, this is the last time we can make this offer. So better swing into action right away. Buy a box of good, hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address and an instant or regular Ralston box top, send 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Martian Masquerade. In Commander Corey's central office at Space Patrol headquarters on the man-made planet Terra, Cadet Happy is attempting to explain a sudden change of plans to Carol Carlisle, daughter of the Secretary General of the United Planets.
Well, that's about all I know, Carol, honest.
But I don't understand.
Oh, here's the commander. He'll explain it.
Explain what? Hello, Carol.
Good morning, Buzz. Hap's been trying to tell me that we aren't going to Jupiter.
He's right.
Oh, no.
I've been trying to reach you all morning. Something came up at the last minute. Happy and I have to blast off for Venus right away.
But why, Buzz?
I'm to meet Captain Hallcroft there and pick up some designs for a new secret weapon. Bring them both back to Terra.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I bought a lot of new things for nothing. No trip to Jupiter.
Oh, you'll make the trip all right. I've arranged passage for you in the Solar Queen. Happy and I'll join you in a couple of days after we get Captain Hallcroft safely back to Terra. Meanwhile, on Venus, in a shabby room at the Venus Plaza, Zyla Kermody sits dejectedly before a dressing table, gazing at her reflection in a mirror. As the door opens quickly behind her, she turns to greet her husband, Earl Kermody.
Well, where have you been?
Where have I been? Wait till you hear it.
I'm waiting. I've been waiting in this rat trap all day and without a thing to eat.
All right, don't jump down my throat, son. Give me a chance to tell you the news.
Look, Earl, all the news I want from you is when do we get back to Mars?
That's what I want to tell you. Look at these spaceship tickets.
Oh, well, I won't even ask where you swiped them.
Wait a minute, I didn't steal them. They were given to me by a fellow who wants a certain job done.
Yeah?
Yeah, and if we pull it off right, there's 20,000 credits in it for us. Maybe more.
What kind of a job?
All we got to do is go over to Venus City Space Hotel and remove some documents from one of the guests. Some plans of some kind for a secret weapon. They're in a plastic case just like this one.
Who's got the documents?
Captain Hallcroft. I got his number and everything.
Captain Hallcroft?
Yeah, he's a Space Patrol courier.
Well, are you out of your mind? That's all we need to get into a jam with the Space Patrol.
Zyla, honey, let me finish. There's no danger at all. That is, if you help.
I don't want any part of this.
Wait a minute. Let me show you something. Here, look at this picture.
Why, it's one of my pictures. Hey, it's not me.
Don't you know who this is? It's Carol Carlisle, the Secretary General's daughter.
I always said you looked like her.
You really think so?
Sure. A lot of people think so.
Well, of course she wears her hair different, but I could fix mine.
Of course you could, honey. Now, look, all you got to do is get Captain Howcroft out of his room for a couple of minutes. Then I go in and get the documents.
You mean I pass myself off as Carol Carlisle? You are crazy.
I tell you, there's no risk at all.
How do I get into the Venus City Space Hotel in the first place? Sneak through the freight chute?
No. Look, I've taken a room across the hall from Howcroft. As far as the hotel staff is concerned, you're Mrs. Donahue.
Where'd you get the money for the room?
From the same guy who gave me the spaceship tickets.
Oh, who's that?
Now, he's a guy working with our old pal, the Martian book dealer.
Scavlin?
Well, Scavlin's just a go-between. But we're to take the documents to his shop in Lowell City on Mars. That's where we'll collect the 20,000 credits.
20,000.
And all you have to do is play Carol Carlisle for 10 minutes.
Oh, you don't think this captain would leave his precious documents unguarded for anybody but the Secretary General's daughter, is that it?
He might. But if we hold an ace, why not play it and be sure? Now, here's the way to work.
Elsewhere, in a room on the 28th floor of the Venus City Space Hotel, young Captain Hallcroft tries to read a technical journal, but his eyes keep wandering to the ray gun handy on the table beside him and to the drawer containing a case of valuable documents.
Yes?
I hate to disturb you, but I wonder if I could ask you a favor.
Oh, what kind of favor?
I seem to be locked out. The electrolock's stuck, I think.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll phone down to the desk and have him send a man up. If the lock's jammed, you'll need an expert.
Oh, well, that's just what I was trying to avoid. It takes such a lot of explanation. You see, it's not my room. Some friends of mine, the Donahues, have the room across the hall. But they're out for the evening, and I left a package in there.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I know it sounds strange, but calling downstairs and explaining would cause such a commotion. Oh, not on account of me, but because of my father.
Your father?
I see you don't know who I am. Does the name Carlisle mean anything to you?
Carlisle? Your father's the Secretary General. Of course, Miss Carlisle. I recognize you now from your pictures.
Well, you can imagine what would happen if the hotel staff found out I was here. There'd be such a fuss. I was hoping I could just pick up my father's present from the room and leave quietly.
Sure, I understand. Well, it's the room just across the hall, you say?
Just one door down. I'd be so grateful. It'd only take a minute.
Sure, Miss Carlisle. It'll be a pleasure.
I do hope Mrs. Donahue gave me the right key. Luckily, I saw them in the hotel dining room.
Well, if it was the right key, it should work. Yeah, we'll try it. There you are, Miss Carlisle.
Oh, now why did I have all that trouble? Oh, thank you so much, Captain.
No, not at all. Well, if you excuse me, I'll have...
just one more favor, if you don't mind. If you'll wait here just a minute, I'll give you the key and you can leave it with the clerk later. I'll only be a minute.
All right, Miss Carlisle.
Where is that package? Oh, she's in the bureau drawer. Oh, now, isn't that provoking? Captain, I'm awfully sorry, but could you come in, please?
Well, what seems to be the matter?
Oh, this drawer's stuck. I can't budge it. Would you try?
All right, Miss Carlisle.
A few moments later, Captain Hallcroft returns to his room. His ray gun is still on the table, and a quick check shows the document case is still in the drawer. With a sigh of relief, the captain returns to his book. An hour later, there's another knock at the door.
Captain Hallcroft?
Commander Corey, come in, sir.
Thanks. Captain, this is Cadet Happy.
How do you do?
How do you do, Captain?
Wasn't expecting you so soon, Commander. But believe me, I'm very glad you're here.
Any trouble?
No, sir.
I'll take the plans, Captain. But you're still to follow your original orders, just as though you still had them.
Yes, sir. Here's the case, Commander.
I'll remove the plans so you can take the case with you. It's empty.
Oh, smoking rockets.
I don't understand. That case hasn't been out of my sight since it was given to me.
Have you left your room since you checked in here?
No, Commander. I stayed here on guard except a couple of minutes.
Where did you go?
Well, just across the hall, but I wasn't gone for more.
Well, why did you go across the hall?
Well, I guess I'd better tell you the whole story. Miss Carlisle needed help getting into a room.
Who is Miss Carlisle?
Well, the Secretary General's daughter, Carol Carlisle.
Captain, Carol Carlisle is on her way to Jupiter.
She looked exactly like her. Hair, eyes, everything.
She's an imposter. You say she had a room right across the hall?
She said it was a friend's room. Mrs. Donahue. I have the key. She left it with me.
Happy, take the key. Check that room.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Captain. We'll go down and talk to the desk clerk.
15 minutes later, Buzz Happy and the very worried Captain Halcroft are in a surface car heading for the Venus City spaceport.
Commander, I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Well, all we can do now is find those crooks.
Well, we're looking for 3 of them, a man and 2 women. Is that right, sir?
No, Happy, just a man and a woman. The woman who posed as Carol is also Mrs. Donahue.
Well, how do you know that, sir?
I showed a picture of the real Carol to the desk clerk. He said that if Mrs. Donahue arranged her hair differently, she'd look exactly like the picture of Carol.
Oh, then she entered the hotel as Mrs. Donahue, went to the room, fixed her hair differently, and knocked on Captain Halcraft's door, right?
And I fell for it.
You were fooled by an expert, Captain.
She had all the props, even the gift package in the drawer.
Yeah. And while you were opening the drawer, Mr. Donahue slipped into your room and got the documents.
Well, our best bet is to try to leave Venus before the theft is discovered. If they don't show up at the spaceport, we'll start a search of the entire city.
What are we standing around for? Why can't we get aboard the spaceship?
I told you, Zyle, it's going to be late blasting off. There's nothing to worry about. Just relax. In a few hours, we'll be at Scavelin's place in Lowell City.
Look, there's that Captain Halcroft, and he saw me.
You're just imagining things. Calm down.
I tell you, Earl, it was Halcroft. He was walking right behind us. Now, what'll we do?
Don't get panicky. Wait till it gets farther away, then we'll duck into this freight.
Sorry, Commander. She's sure all right.
Where?
Standing over there by the freight section.
Hey, I see her. Smoking rocket. She sure looks like Carol, all right. Uh-oh. She ducked through a door.
Come on, Happy. We'll follow them. Captain, you wait outside.
Here's the door she ducked into, sir.
Inside, quickly.
There doesn't seem to be anybody here. She must have gone through into another part of the freight office.
Somebody's behind those crates over there. Come on. All right, lady, come on out.
So I'm out.
Hey, no wonder the captain was fooled.
Well, what do you want? I haven't done anything.
If you haven't, I'm sure you won't mind coming with us.
That's where you're wrong, mister.
Commander!
You...
Oh, you really clobbered him.
Come on, let's get out of here.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Gang, hurry, hurry, hurry. This is positively, absolutely, definitely the final week we can tell you about the terrific, the sensational, the wonderful Monoview Outer Space Helmet. So hurry, hurry, hurry. This is the last time we can offer the swell Monoview Outer Space Helmet and tell you about the swell times and the swell fun you can have with one. You know, it's the one and only outer space helmet that keeps your identity a complete secret, because that one-way eye plate lets you see out, but nobody else can see in. It's got special outer space ear plates, too. Everything you hear sounds like it's coming from way out in space. And don't you forget about those real-looking oxygen tanks, breathing tubes, and neat lightning flash hood printed on. So hurry, hurry, hurry. For only a quarter, 25 cents on a box top, you can get a Monoview Outer Space Helmet. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then with your name and address and an instant or regular Ralston box top, send 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Martian Masquerade. Taking advantage of her striking resemblance to the Secretary General's daughter, Zyla Kermody helped her husband steal plans for a secret Space Patrol weapon from Captain Halcroft. A short time later, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy arrived at Venus City, discovered the theft, and rushed to the Venus City spaceport in time to catch Zyla. But while questioning her, Buzz and Happy were knocked out by Earl Kermody. Unaware of this latest development, Captain Halcroft waits for them to come out of the freight station, but as moments go by, he becomes worried and goes in to investigate, and discovers Buzz and Happy lying on the floor.
Commander, Cadet. Commander, what happened? I'm not sure.
There's a big guy with a club. First he hit you, Commander. Well, before I could get out of the way, he hit me.
Same man I saw outside, talking to the girl.
They may still be at the spaceport. We'll contact the control tower and order all ships grounded until we can make a search.
Commander, if they got away, I think I know where they might be going.
Where?
Well, when I first spotted the girl here at the spaceport, I passed by close enough to hear part of their conversation. They mentioned Lowell City.
Mars.
Did you hear anything else, Captain?
Well, it was a name. A rather odd one. Gavs something or other. Scavlin, I think it was.
We'll check on that later. Let's alert the control tower.
All ships are grounded while a search is made for a girl resembling Carol Carlisle. Guards at all exits are questioned, but there is no trace of her. Then, following the clue offered by Captain Halcroft, Buzz and Happy board the Terra 5 and blast off for Mars. With Happy at the controls of the ship, Buzz finishes a call to Space Patrol headquarters.
Well, that's all, but remember, when you locate Miss Carlisle, ask her to call me immediately on my private frequency. Corey out.
Any luck, Commander?
Well, Captain Halcroft was right.
What do you mean, sir?
There is someone named Scavlin in Lowell City. Uriah Scavlin. He runs a bookstore.
Bookstore? It doesn't sound very suspicious.
No, in fact, it's quite innocent. So innocent that I wonder why people like our friends the Donahues would be interested in it right after pulling the robbery.
Yeah, that is strange. Well, has this Scavlin any kind of a record?
No, but our Mars agents have been to his shop several times. You see, he specializes in rare books, first editions, collector's items. When such books are stolen, our men naturally contact all dealers, Scavlin among them.
Well, have you tried having Major Robertson run a search through our master files on the Donahues?
Yes, but I doubt that anything will turn up. That woman's name is no more Donahue than it is Carlisle.
Yeah, I guess it's right.
However, if a phony Miss Carlisle or Mrs. Donahue visits Scavlin's, it'll be reported to Lowell City headquarters.
Carol Carlisle at Jupiter City headquarters calling Commander Corey aboard Terra 5. Carol Carlisle to Commander Corey.
Corey here.
Oh, I just got your message. When did you arrive at Jupiter City?
There's a change in plans, Carol.
Oh, Buzz, not again.
Yes, and you're directly involved. Get the first passenger ship to Mars. I'll meet you at Lowell City Space Patrol headquarters.
Mars? But why are you going there?
I'll explain when you arrive.
Well, can't you tell me over the space phone?
Definitely not. Corey out.
Well, after that, I'll bet Carol will be there waiting for us.
A tall man and a blonde girl stroll down a side street in Lowell City, capital of Mars. The man carries a package under his arm, a package that might conceivably be a book. They pause before a large store bearing the sign, Scavlin's Bookshop.
Oh, wait.
Come on, Zyla. What are you holding back for?
I don't think we should go in there.
How else are we going to collect? Come on. No, here he comes. Let me do the talking.
May I help you?
I brought in that rare document I mentioned the other day, Mr. Scavlin.
Oh, let's see it.
I'll unwrap it.
It doesn't look like much to me, just a book.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Open it up.
This is a rare item.
Well, then it's genuine.
I'll drop back in a few days after I have a chance to examine it.
Say, what about our money? Where's the 20,000 credits?
Oh, you don't understand. I haven't the money to pay you for this document, but I do have potential buyers. If they are interested, they will pay me and I will pay you.
Look, Scavlin, we ran a lot of risk to get those plans.
Alec, let's do as Mr. Scavlin says.
Oh, right. I don't like the setup.
Mr. Scavlin's perfectly reliable, dear. Now, until he contacts me, you and I better split up.
Split up? What for?
We stand less chance of being caught if we're not together. Now, you go to our old place and wait for me to call you.
Just a minute. Where will you be?
Don't worry, I'll keep in touch. Now, you run along.
Hours later, in Space Patrol headquarters at Lowell City, Carol listens to Commander Corey's account of the theft.
And you know where she is?
Yes, one of our agents trailed her when she left Scavlin's bookstore. But we don't know where her partner is or what they've done with the plans.
Wouldn't you say the plans are in the bookshop, Commander?
Well, that's likely, but to raid the bookshop now might give Scavlin a chance to tip off the ringleaders. I'm hoping Carol can help us.
I'll do anything I can, Buzz.
I want you to go to Scavlin's and try to get some evidence. It may be risky, so I'm giving you a miniature space phone to conceal on your person. We found out that the woman's name is Zyla Kermendy. Her husband's name is Earl.
Well, what do you want me to do at Scavlin's?
I want you to impersonate the girl who impersonated you.
Yes, ma'am. May I help you?
Have you got the money?
Money?
You remember me. I was here the other day with my husband, Earl.
Oh, yes, I remember.
I asked you, have you got the money?
The arrangement was that I am to contact Mr. Kermendy.
Yes, but Earl changed his mind. He's tired of waiting. He can sell the plans himself. He wants you to hand them over to me, now.
Why is he in such a hurry? And why didn't he come?
He's afraid he's being watched. If he came here, the Space Patrol would get Earl and you, too.
Well, if that's the way it's got to be, just wait here a moment, Mrs. Kermadine.
Oh, sure.
Kermadine, this is Scavlin. You better get over here right away.
You got the money?
No, but your wife's trying to double-cross you.
Huh? She come to the shop?
She's here now.
All right, keep stalling. I'll be right over.
Okay.
Moments pass in the quiet, musty bookshop. Carol waits anxiously for the proprietor, Uriah Scavlin, to return. In another part of the store, she hears a series of muffled scraping sounds, as though heavy boxes were being moved. Could it be that Scavlin really is going to remove the stolen plans from hiding and give them to her? Suddenly, the street door bursts open.
You are here, Silas. I'll fix you, you double-crossing little...
Go, you're hurting
I never thought
me.
you'd try to pull a trick like this. Wait a minute. Scavlin, where are you?
Right here. And if you're going to beat your wife up, do it somewhere else.
This isn't my wife. This isn't Zyla.
It isn't? Then who is it?
It's the Secretary General's daughter. She knows the whole setup. Space Patrol must have sent her here as a spy. We've got to get rid of her.
We'll hide her in the basement with all those old books.
Mean where you've got the secret plans hidden?
Yes, get her down there, quickly.
All right, come on, sister. Get going. Down the stairs.
A few moments later, a Space Patrol surface car screams to a stop in front of the bookshop, and two men rush to the door.
It's locked, Commander.
I can fix that. Now, before the space phone cut off, they put Carol in a basement. Let's find the stairs.
I haven't heard a sound out of that miniature spaceophone for several minutes.
Hope we're not too late. I hear the stairs, Happy. Have your ray gun ready.
Yes, sir. Gee, this place is musty.
Yeah. Carol! Carol, where are you?
Oh, Buzz, is that you?
She's down this way, sir.
Buzz, Happy. And the spaceophone worked after all. When they threw me down here, they broke it, and I was afraid you didn't hear me.
Where are they now?
They said something about getting a truck.
We'll get you out of here, then come back and look for the plans.
Yeah, before Scavlin and Kermadine get back.
What's that?
The door closed.
Uh-oh. Looks like the boys are back. We're locked in here.
Oh, Buzz.
Now, don't worry, we're still all right. Captain Halcroft will realize there's trouble when he doesn't hear from us.
Yeah, and... Commander, my head hurts.
It's some terrible pressure. What's happening?
It's ultrasonic vibrations.
Where are they coming from?
From a resonator up near the ceiling. Vibrations kill the insects that attack these old books.
Yeah, well, what'll it do to us?
Well, if we can't shut off that resonator, we'll meet the same fate as the insects.
Buzz, I can't stand it any longer. The pain's driving me crazy.
Cap, we've got to act fast.
I can hardly move, and it sounds getting louder.
It isn't the audible sound that's hurting us. It's the higher cycles. Now, Happy, if we can move that ladder, raise it up, crash it against the resonator.
I'll try it, sir. It's heavy. Awful heavy. Commander, I can't hold it.
I'll try it, Hap.
It'll only reach... Hey, Commander, maybe I can climb it.
You'd lose your balance, sure.
You're getting it, sir. The top of the ladder is right next to the resonator. Push it hard, sir. You did it, sir. It's off. You broke the circuit.
Yeah.
Hey, Commander, Carol fainted.
I know. She'll be all right. That gives me an idea. Listen.
Don't hear anything in there, Scavlin.
Of course not. The walls are insulated. But I can guarantee there isn't anything alive in that room. 1 minute of those ultrasonic vibrations is all a human being can take.
You've had 5.
I'll cut the switch. Now we'll open the door and take inventory.
Yeah, there they are. The 3 of them.
Well, the best thing for us to do is to get the plans and get out of here.
Now, where'd you put them?
Oh, right up here in this old book.
That's all we wanted to know.
Scavlin, they're alive.
You bet we are.
Get Scavlin happy. I'll take care of Kermadine. Keep an eye on him, Happy, while I take care of Carol.
I'm all right, Buzz.
Here, I'll help you up.
Oh, thanks, Buzz.
Well, Happy, I thought I told you to keep an eye on our prisoners.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I was just noticing a book here. A real old one, printed way back in 1955.
1955? Well, that's 1,000 years old.
Commander, can I take it with me to read in the ship on the way back to Terra? It looks real interesting.
Oh, what's the title?
Why Man Can Never Visit Other Planets.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Space Patrollers, this is your commander. Now, I want every one of you to listen carefully to this message on the reminder meter. Now, listen. Here goes.
Send away today for your MonoView Outer Space Helmet.
Get it? Now, I want all of you to do just what the reminder meter says, because time is running out. This is the last time I can tell you about the sensational MonoView Outer Space Helmet, the official Space Patrol helmet that I wear on secret missions. You know, with your helmet on, your disguise is complete. The specially designed one-way eye plate lets you see out clearly, but nobody else can see in or tell who you are. Remember, too, the helmet has real-looking printed oxygen tanks and breathing tubes. Comes in mighty handy on space jaunts. And there's outer space ear plates, gleaming lightning flash hood. Yes, everything for the Space Patroller. Captain Tufeld, tell the Space Patrollers how to get one.
Yes, sir, Commander. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And send away today for your MonoView Outer Space Helmet. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are searching through an abandoned spaceship, half buried in a landslide in the mountains of Venus.
Whatever forced this spaceship to land certainly wasn't the lack of fuel. Just look at all these drums bolted to the racks.
They all seem to be full.
Commander, the ship's moving.
The dirt's getting away. We're sliding down the slope.
Commander, the fuel drums are breaking loose.
Run for the next compartment. If one of the drums hits us, we'll be crushed.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Treasure of Mount Roll Cab, when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Debry. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! This is Dick Tufeld in St. Louis reporting on the twin-jet Air Force fighter, the McDonnell Voodoo XF-88A. In a moment, we'll hear from the noted test pilot who flies this plane, Phil Houghton. Speed of the Voodoo is a military secret, but it's plenty fast. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weight 10 tons. And now, Phil Houghton recorded this morning at Lambert Airfield.
After seeing the Voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. A test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So do as Phil Houghton, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., and other top test pilots do. Make your cereals rice checks and wheat checks. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.